Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Buff Nation, what up? BWB, that means my bandwagon buffs. Hope all is well. God bless you. Hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to TLP Sports Club. You are now watching TLP Live. I am your host, Harry Billion. Welcome to the show, guys. It is Friday. That means that it's free for all Friday. We talk all things buffs on this channel. And there's been a lot of activities going on because the Buffs are back. The Buffs are back. Spring training is now going on. Conferences or press conferences are going on. And we get an opportunity to get into the minds of the people that are there on the team. So this is a great opportunity for us all to learn a lot about the team in its current state. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the Buffs' current state. The press conferences, we're going to talk about all of that on today's show. If you want to call into the show, something pricks your ear, you want to call in and you want to sound off, the email is right there on your screen, guys. It's called, you can email me, jointlplive@gmail.com. That is a safe email. I control it directly with my phone. I ain't doing nothing to your email, so don't worry about that. People that's been on the show can attest to that I don't try to spam anybody. But yeah, email me. I'll send you a link. You can click on that link and we can have a conversation. So welcome to TLP Live. Let's go ahead and talk the Buffs. Let's talk Buffs today. Welcome, everybody. Let me say hi to all my guests that are in the chat. Some of y'all were in here early. You probably left already because I came here late, so I apologize for that. There's always something going on. But the show got to go on. Phil So Real, if you're still here, welcome. What up, brother? The Tennis Channel. Willie, what's up with you? Johnny S. Garlington. What up with you? Like Arlington, but just add a G. Garlington. Yes, sir. Mr. James, what's up with you? See you, Buff Dynasty. Yeah, man. What's up with you? Hope all is well with you today. DCOT77, what up with you? We are ready to go. It is time for us to talk Buffs. And right off the rip, let's go ahead and take the head honcho himself, Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Coach Prime. If you are watching this in the re-stream, I say we're talking Coach Prime, we're talking the Buffs, and we're going to be delving into the press conferences. It's kind of like a live reaction to the press conferences. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all watch Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, Uncle Neely. You see every video, okay? So y'all know what's going on out there. Sometimes y'all beat me to the punch, okay? I try to do my research, but I got other things going on outside of Buffs. So sometimes I'm late, and y'all beat me to the punch. But it's all good. That's why we got the chat. That's why I got members. My members are Phil So Real. I got Peter Investor. I got Wild Dog. And then other people that just support the channel so much, man. They be sending me stuff, all right? My girl Janet G still sending me stuff. I said salute to everybody that supports this channel. DC Carson, everybody, okay? I start calling name, I'm gonna leave somebody out. But yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. And I want to take the first guy. His name is some guy named Deion Sanders, aka Coach Prime. Let's talk about him first and his press conference. Who saw the press conference? Let me see a raise of hand. Give me a raise of hands who saw Coach Prime's press conference. If you saw Coach Prime's press conference, raise your hand. Okay. Because that's what we're about to talk about today. All right. Harry, was the topic of the day. What's the topic of the day? The topic of the day is the press conference. I think that's what you meant to say. Because I'm not the topic of the day, even though I would like to be. All right, so ICH Inc. Hey, man, I know the photo, but the name has changed. What's up with that name? What are you doing over there? Is that Henry? I think that's Henry. I know that photo. You don't change it to ICH Inc. All right. When we learn something, we try to employ it. You understand what I'm saying? Oh gosh, we try to employ it. ICH probably learned something like, yo, use your incorporation, okay? So that's what he's doing right now. Oh gosh. All right, guys. So that's Harold. Yeah, Harold. I figured that. Oh man. So yeah, man. All right. So let's go. Let's get this thing cracking. Let's go. Um. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I am so sorry. Okay. So we're taking Coach Prom's press conference. I want to load up the press conference for a few of those guys who have not seen the press conference. I want to go ahead and load it up. We're gonna play just a few. We're gonna play just a few. Wow, you guys are ready to go, huh? Man, the emails are the emails full right now. Wow, you guys are ready to go. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about here is this. The first thing I want to talk about is I got a question for the chat for to start off. The question is, does Coach Prime owe anybody anything, an answer to anything? That's the first question I want us to tackle. I feel like the first thing I want to talk about is Coach Prime's explanation for why he does not do home visits. And that question wasn't asked, right? But he brought it up. It was on his heart. It was pressing, and he brought it up because he wanted to talk about it. It's something that has been pressing him. When he does that, when Coach Prime is the one that initiates the conversation, it's something that's pressing on him, and that he wants to answer that question. Um, Coach Prime doesn't owe us anything. He don't owe the press. He don't owe us. He don't owe us no answers to nothing. I think this is probably the first time, because you guys know on this channel what I say. I said, God, gosh, Coach Prime, we need the red meat. Give me something. He's been mad quiet. But there are times where Coach Prime does not need to say anything. And I think the whole why you don't visit, why you don't do home visits is probably one of the times where Coach Prime did not need to say anything. Because the reason why I say that is because I feel like the answer did not help his case at all. And when I say that with the most respect, and because I feel like he doesn't need to give the detractors or the people that just don't have his best in mind, or his best at heart. He don't need to give them anything, because the second that you say something, they're going to dissect everything you're saying. And the answer that he gave didn't help his case at all. And because it came across in a weird way. So I'm like, I guess sometimes, because we're all humans, sometimes when things are pressing you, it's easier for you to just get it out of your system, which is cool. But sometimes, man, I'm like, yo, coach, just don't say nothing. To me personally, right? To me personally, I felt like it was better when we didn't know the answer than when we got the answer. Because I felt like the answer just played right into the Jason Whitlocks. It played right into the hands of the detractors, those people who don't have his best interest. And I'm like, did the answer really help me out to understand anything more than what I already know about Coach Prime? I don't think so. I don't think the answer helped. It ain't really. I didn't need the answer. To tell you the truth, I mean, we talked about it last show. I think was it East Coast Cav brought it up. Somebody brought it up and they said, "Hey man, Coach Prime doesn't do home visits. Why?" It was either that or I had a conversation in the email like I usually do. Somebody emailed me and said, "Yo, X, Y, and Z." Y'all remember? If y'all remember, let me know. So we just talked about it on the surface, and it is what it is. Sometimes, I mean, the imagination serves me better than me knowing and hearing him say it. But what did he say for a lot of y'all who didn't hear it? Um, he said the reason why he doesn't do home visits is um because of his stature, because of his I guess popularity, and if he goes out and he does a visit, um he can't just do one visit because the word will get around that Coach Prime is doing a visit. That answer is great. That answer is perfect because it gives you a Coach Prime is an open book. We all know that. He gives you cameras and then he gives you answers. So the reason for hey guys, do me a favor and smash that like button. I want to see more people joining the conversation. So please go ahead. If you did email me and you're ready to join the show, just give me a second. Let me get this monologue out, and then you'll come on here and we'll talk about it. But I don't want y'all waiting. I don't want to send y'all the link yet, and then you're waiting while I'm talking. So just give me a second. You know what I'm saying? Help the chat out for a second, and then you'll come on and then we can talk it out. But guys, do me a favor, just smash that like button. We can get more people watching the show because not everybody knows that I'm live right now. You can even take the link and you can send it to a friend like, yo, Harry B's live, TLP's live. Come on and join the show. If you do that, the algorithm is going to do some shimmy. All right. But yeah, so yeah, if he does a visit to one school, he will have to then do a visit to that whole region because if one coach finds out that you went to his school, then the next coach is going to say, well, why did he come to my school? And I'm not going to give this. I'm not sending my kids over there. I mean, I don't really know if coaches are that shallow. Like you would hold it against a child that Coach Prime didn't soothe your ego to come to your school. You will hold a D1 offer from that's a whole nother idea, okay? But that was part of his explanation that if he does one, he has to do multiple, which I get. And I understand that totally. And I respect it. I'm like, yeah, I kind of figured that was part of the answer. I figured that was part of the answer. I thought maybe health was one of the biggest reasons, but I figured that was part of the answer. So, and then he also says that he's trying to save the school some money because, you know what I'm saying, when he travels with a team and they have to pay the team and blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot that goes into it. So I get that. Now, here's the issue with this. The coaching brotherhood. There is a coaching brotherhood. Whether you want to believe it or not, there's a coaching brotherhood. If and then they're the pundits, they're the analysts, and everybody else, right? And the YouTubers, and then your detractors. So when you give somebody an answer and you say it's because I'm Prime, it don't sit well with the detractors. I understand why you're Prime. I just did a video where Coach Prime is going to be the keynote speaker at CWA. And it's one of those world fair. It's one of those world affairs situations where Coach Prime is going to be giving a keynote speaker, where there's going to be like distinguished guests and people talking about world issues. So Coach Prime is more than a figure. He's a bigger figure than just football. His figure transcends football. So I totally understand that CU gets it, where Jackson State did not get it. It's obvious that Jackson State did not understand the behemoth that is Deion Sanders. They didn't know how to treat him as such. But CU gets it. CU is allowing him to be him, right? So he's going to do a multitude of things other than just coach football. Coaching football is just one part of this man. He's a generational talent that we've never seen before. All right. He transcends one thing that he's doing. He's helping across the board. So I get it. That video is out there. You can go see it. So that in that sense, he's Deion. So obviously, not every coach has the same flair. I'm taking it all the way to the top to Nick Saban. Nick Saban is not a Deion Sanders. I don't care. Nick Saban is only big in the football world and maybe in auto sales, or he owns several car dealerships. So maybe in the business world they know of him, but the layman does not know Nick Saban. A lot of y'all did not know Nick Saban before Coach Prime came to Colorado. You didn't even know the name Nick, or you knew Nickelodeon, but not Nick Saban. So we cannot compare Nick Saban, Kirby Smart from Georgia, who was one of his underlings. So Nick Saban is like, okay, the top. You can take everybody from the top, Nick Saban, and the bottom, and everything in between. You can't compare any of them to Coach Prime. That's just him. All right, so we get that. But if Coach Prime, you're listening, bruh, you can't say everything, bruh. Let me just be an advisor for Coach Prime, right? Like for a second. We don't need you to say everything, and you don't owe anybody anything. I understand the type of person you are. You're open book, you're open spirit, and some things bother you, and you don't like it. You don't like it to be out there. But I get it. Right? But you don't need to answer every question. That is, if there's any question that I needed you not to answer, was probably that question, because the answer did not land correctly, especially in the eyes of your detractors. And then when you're given the answer, it can't be, it's because I'm me, I'm him. Like, it can't, like, no. All right? Like, bruh, there's that humility thing that people talk about. This is not on the field. When you're him on the field, you can talk that talk to the players all day. To the common man and to the press, you can't say I'm him. Like, that's what they're picking up: humility, ego, and all of those things. That's how they're going to read it from anybody. It doesn't matter if you're Coach Prime or not, but you cannot say it's because I'm him. Like, if you don't agree with that because you're such a strong Coach Prime fan, then maybe you don't understand life. Because it's not about hating him, or it's not about detracting from him. It's about how people are perceiving things. You've heard the phrase before. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. Not everybody is of the same mindset. Coach Prime talks as if he's still playing. He's on the field and he's playing. And he's talking, he's jousting with the guys that are playing with him. Like when he's doing it in the press. No, you cannot do that. I mean, like, straight up, you can't say it's because I'm him. You can't say it's because I'm Prime. They're not going to receive it the way that you're thinking in your head. I know you. I know you're a jovial guy. You talk like, you know what I'm saying? You do your thing. Not everybody knows that, Coach. Everybody don't know that, Prime. You see what I'm saying? Everybody don't know that about you. So when you say it, you sometimes you will even laugh about it, and you will be like, you know, you'll laugh. But, bro, do us a favor. Those who are out here trying to protect the ticket, do us all a favor. Don't say I'm him. Not in the press. Not when you're answering a question about you in the press. Don't say I'm him. Just don't say I'm him. Don't relate it that way. Use your health. Say, man, listen, I got some health issues. I can't do what every other coach does. That's understandable. But when you end it with, because I'm Prime, and then you do that laugh, nah, bruh. I'm telling you right now, it don't land well. It never is going to land well, Prime. All right? It's never going to land well. And sometimes when I talk like this, people come against me. Who are you to tell Prime how to talk? You ain't nobody. You just eating off of Prime, so go away, blah, 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 blah. I'm unsubscribing. Some of these people that do that kind of stuff, they're not understanding that. They don't understand the bigger picture. This is not about hating on Prime or disrespecting Prime, or even me being a YouTuber or creator. This ain't about that. I want y'all to understand. We got to protect the ticket. So if Prime is hearing me, Prime, if you're hearing me, I'm a senior statesman in this game. Spiritually, because you are a spiritual man, you're a Christian man. I'm a senior statesman, okay? And I'm urging you as a senior statesman in this game, all right, as an OG in this game. I may have this baby face, I look young, and I'm a pretty boy when it comes to the dark skin pack. But I'm pretty old, man. I'm old enough to give you some advice. I'm not that far away from your age. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we're trying to protect the ticket. And you ain't doing us no favors when you come out and you answer a question in the press, especially when it's about you, and you say is because I'm him. You ain't on the football field. Let somebody tell you that you're not on the football field. You ain't on the football field. You're not talking to Jerry Rice. You ain't talking to who are some of the names that he played against. You ain't talking to those guys. You're talking to the press. You're talking to people with low self-esteem. You're talking to people who are advantageous. They're going to be clack, 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 clack. You're talking to people who don't have your best interests at heart, bruh. Like the next time you answer a question, Prime, never say in the terms of I'm him, ever. Like, no. Because where you and I may understand, because we're BWBs, we're bandwagon busts, we understand Prime. We know how Prime is, and we know who Prime is. So we understand if you're talking to us, we like, yo, we know you him. Let's go all day, every day. Let's go. We Prime. You know what I'm saying? We Prime time, baby. Not when you're talking to them. When you do that stuff, it makes our job harder, bruh. You're the ticket. We all are here because of you. We got to protect this ticket, bruh. So I'm just telling you, as a senior statesman in this game, as one who knows why I'm here, all right? Thank God I'm here. Thank God for you. The reason why I'm here, I give God the glory first, and then I say thank you, Deion Sanders, for being obedient to God and answering your call to do whatever you had to do, and that's why I'm here. I'm a senior statesman, Prime. If you and I never meet or whatever happens, I know you watch the show. I know you know about the show. So I'm just going to let you know respectfully, when you're answering the press, don't say it's because I'm him. They don't take it well. They don't understand. They don't know how to take it. They don't know how to answer that. They don't know that you don't mean it boastfully. They don't know that. You're trying to let them know I'm not like everybody else. I have a different calling. My calling is not just the football. We know that. I can do videos all day explaining that to lesser minds, to people who don't know what's going on. But just for the sake of preserving the gift that God has given you, just take that humble route, man. Just take that route that everybody's thinking. If you say it like that, like it'll save you a lot of back and forth, because that's the only reason why you answer some of these people all the time, because it's like you keep talking to people who don't understand you. You don't get me. You don't understand. So that's why when you keep asking the questions like, what is it about what I do that why y'all get upset? When I say what y'all are thinking, like he's saying this in his press conference, when I say what y'all are thinking, why is it that y'all get upset and then I'm the bad guy? Coach, we know what's in your mind. We know what's in your heart. We know what you're thinking. You're pure soul. You mean well. We get that. That's why it bothers you, because you're truthful. You kind of like you're open book. So, Coach, we know why you're doing that. So if you're listening, I'm dedicating the top of this show to you, to answering you, to really trying to let you know what these streets are saying and what these streets are doing. You don't owe us nothing. You don't have to answer that. It's okay. We got you, man. We got your back out here. So do yourself a favor and just don't, when you answer questions, don't say I'm him, because you're not on the field no more. I'm ready, guys. Let's go. East Coast Cav, what up with you, man? Thank you for joining the show.
Harry, happy Friday, Harry. I see
Happy
you on
Friday,
it
brother.
today.
Yeah, man. We gotta protect the ticket. And that's the way we protect the ticket. I'm gonna lose some people. I get it. I always lose some people when I talk this way, but it's the responsible thing to say. It's the responsible thing to do.
The responsible thing to say what exactly, sir?
Were you not listening?
Oh no, I was listening. I just want to hear you say it one more time.
What do you mean? You want me to repeat everything I just said?
No, just that one part. What he should not say.
Yeah, don't answer questions, or don't end questions with "is because I'm him." Like, it's just, it's great on the field, but it doesn't work in the press, because not everybody's on that competitive level. Not
Okay,
everybody's
and
on.
then that's where I wanted to stop you at.
Okay.
I don't know how old you are, Harry, and you know what? God bless you. Um, Prime has been in the media over 30, 40 years. You cannot
I'm
tell this man.
I'm
Oh,
close
hold
to his
on, hold on,
age.
hold on, hold on, hold on. We gonna get there. We gonna go there together.
You say you
This
didn't know
man,
how old I was. I'm
obviously,
telling you.
whatever he's doing, because I'm looking at it like respectfully. Who are you to tell Prime what to say and what not to say in the media? Because first of all, this man
Because
has
I'm
been
the
in the
media.
media before you were born,
No, he
sir.
wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't. There's no
Uh,
way he was in the media before I was
okay,
born.
how old are you?
I'm almost 50 years old.
Okay, even still.
So stop playing
But
with
let's
me.
let's just say let's just okay, let's play that game. He was in the media while you were in high school chasing cheerleaders. Is that fair?
I didn't chase
All
cheerleaders.
right, but you don't play semantics.
Go
You get
ahead.
my point.
Go ahead. Say your
You
point.
get my point. What I'm saying is he knows how to play the game, and he knows how to play the media. He
That
knows
has
what to
nothing to
say.
do with what I'm saying. That
He
has
know he
nothing to do
knows.
with what
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
no, no. He knows what to say.
But you're not
He
even on what
he
I'm
got
saying.
it from
That's
here.
not what I'm saying.
Our job.
I didn't say Deion Sanders did not know how to play the game. That's not. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'm not discrediting his media prowess. I'm not doing that. Remember what I'm saying. I'm saying that the media that he plays, Coach Prime is always in. I'm a. He's always in football mode. Coach Prime is a competitive guy. He knows the media. I've done thousands of videos about that. I'm just saying, if you know the media, you know how vicious they are. You're constantly having to defend yourself when people say stuff like, when they start harking on, do you believe now? Do you believe now? Those type of things. You cannot say in the media that it's because I'm him. That's good on the football field, but in the world where we live in, people don't take that the right way that you meaning. We know what he means,
Do
but it
you think
doesn't
he
matter.
cares about how people take it?
He doesn't
The
care,
the
but I'm
bottom
listening to
line,
you.
Harry. The bottom line is whether you want to root for Prom or you want to root against him. Either way, you're going to be watching him and listening to him. That's
What
what
does that
he's doing.
mean? Like y'all
No, no,
always
that's
do
not what
that.
I'm. Go ahead,
That
Harry.
doesn't mean that when
But
somebody says something that can that can that can go against them, and people are coming against them, that does not mean that
he
everybody
says this
else,
stuff to trigger
no,
people, Harry.
you're gonna be
You don't
watching
get it.
Prom.
If you study Prom the way I studied him, then you know he says stuff
You
to
don't know
trigger
Prom like
people.
that. Now I'm older than you. I'm way older than you.
I know that.
So what are
You
you
don't even know
talking
how
about?
old I am.
Are you studying Prom more than I study Prom? And I'm older than
I
you.
said I study Prom like you study Prom. All I'm
That's what I'm
saying
saying. But
is,
you don't know Prom longer than me. I know Prom longer than me because I've been alive
regardless of
longer
who
than you.
knows him longer, we both know Prom says and does stuff that triggers the media. Look at what he's doing now. Why? Because it brings
I don't
attention
believe it, but
to
hold
the
on.
school.
All right,
Whether
hold
it's
on.
good attention or not, it's
That ain't,
attention that
nah,
it's bringing.
nah. Tim Spiff, welcome to the show. Thank you,
You
brother,
don't
for
like
calling
nobody
in. I
disagreeing
appreciate
with you. I'm
it. Yeah,
starting
of
to
course.
notice
Hey,
that.
what's
Not
up?
especially when it don't make
You don't
sense. You
like
can say
nobody
whatever you want.
disagreeing.
Fine, but make
Hey,
sure that you articulate your point. Listen,
I'm
Tim,
articulating my point. I'm telling you,
Tim, give me
he
one
does
second.
this for media clickbait. That's what I'm
Right.
trying to tell you.
Listen to what I'm telling you. You think you know, but don't tell me that I don't like to disagree. I don't like to agree, or I don't like when people disagree with me. You don't like when people disagree with you.
No,
Anybody that talks,
I'm
let me
very
finish.
open
Let me
to
finish, and
what
I'll
you're
let you.
saying.
No,
This is
you're
your
not. No,
platform.
you're not. Because listen, let me tell you this. This is the thing that people say when somebody's trying to make their point and come against what they're saying is like you just don't like when people disagree with you. I did not say I didn't like for you to disagree with me. I'm just making my point. So don't say that thing. Anyways, Tim, welcome to the show, brother. How you doing today?
hey, thank you for having me on. How you doing, Harry? What's up,
All is
East
well, brother.
Coast?
Yes, sir.
Um,
So,
I
so Tim,
yeah, go
give
ahead,
me
brother.
your thought. Give me your thoughts on the idea of when you're on the field, it's okay for you to tell the player next to you, bruh, you can't hold me. I'm him.
Mhm, mhm,
Versus when you're in the media and you are
mhm,
explaining something as an elder statesman, all
mhm,
right? As an elder statesman, for you to tell somebody, I don't do visits, essentially, right? I'm
mhm.
not saying that's what he said. Essentially to say is because I'm him.
Correct.
Tell me your thoughts on that, please.
Um, I know exactly what you're talking about. I understand the question. I would say this. He, I heard the first off, I heard the press conference,
Mm-hmm.
and the deal with the I can't come to this school because the other school is gonna get jealous that I didn't
Mm-hmm.
come to their facility. Um, and him stating that I'm him, I agree with the notion I am him from Coach Prime because I feel like we need to. Well, we live in a day and age where things change.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we went from flip cell phones to now open face cell phones with a lot more capability of doing things, correct? So
Mm-hmm.
Coach Prime, I'm starting to come at first I was like, dang, why is he going into these homes and everything? I understand he is Coach Prime. So
Mm-hmm.
if the day and age that we live in with technology wise, if Coach Prime say, hey, I'm finna come visit your house, those kids are going to go on social media and say, I got an in-house visit with Coach Prime on this date at this time.
Yep.
Okay,
Hey,
now,
hold up, Tim. Somebody trying to say they're trying to call into the show. Join TLP live at gmail.com is the email. Go ahead. So go ahead, email me and I'll send you the link. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry about that.
okay, so now, no worries. So now, if if those kids are putting that out in the atmosphere, now you got 100,000 kids
Mm-hmm.
on the street that that individual live up on. So now you got the police force having to get in come into play to help out assess that when Coach Prime is just trying to come talk to that one individual and his family. But I did hear him state in the press conference that, in my time when I was growing up, I ain't want somebody visiting me and little rodents, roaches, and rats running around, just coming to wanting to come out and play. That part right there, I was like, why would you say that? Like, are you trying to throw shade on the less fortunate? You know what I mean? But so now let me backtrack to why I feel it's good that kids do come to see you and visit. Now,
Well,
as
no, hold on,
far
hold
as
on,
how
hold on.
much,
I don't want you to do the. Don't say the whole thing. Let me just. We're taking it piece by piece because we got people in the in the green room. So let's get people in here and then I'll give you an opportunity to answer like other parts of it. Okay.
okay, that's
So
fine.
just give me a second. Let me get Phil in here. Just that first part. Let's just deal with that first part first. Phil, so real. Thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you always. God bless, brother.
Well, hey man, appreciate that. What's going on, everybody? Hey, real quick, I just want to say this. I want to give a shout out to Grambling's men's basketball team that won Wednesday night to get into the tournament. So they got a game tonight against Purdue, and then our women's basketball team last night won the first round game for the women's NIT. So it's a good day to be a Grambling Tiger.
Big ups to GSU. Go ahead, Phil. I'm sorry.
I
For sure.
appreciate that, Tim.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. You are an advocate for are they HBCU?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, for average HBCU. I didn't want to mix speak. But the first part of this question that we're talking about, we're going to talk about the interview, right? But the first part of
Hmm.
the question is the idea of saying I'm him. It's great on the
Hmm.
field, but it's not great in the press. That's my thing. I don't disagree with what he said. I love the answer, right? Like I said, overall, I just didn't
Hmm.
care that we needed the answer, but fine. If he had to say that he's human, let him just let him speak his truth. I'm with that. Okay. So I don't want
Right.
nobody to think that I'm telling Prime not to speak. But what I'm saying is when you say it, don't like people don't take well when you say it's because I'm him, which is
Hmm.
fine when you say, hey, I'm just different, or I you know what I'm saying? Like if I go I'm not like every other coach,
Hmm.
as you can see why we have so many different YouTube channels. But when you say, well, it's because I'm Prime, people don't take it that well. That's all I'm saying. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I mean I think it's a valid point to say that the majority wouldn't take well to somebody saying because I'm him, right? But he also is true. There will be a large population of people that want to see him. But I also feel, to add on to that, there are other coaches that deal with that same thing. Nick Saban is gonna have a lot of people want to see him. Kirby Smart, Jim Harbaugh, all those guys, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
basically what he's saying is I don't have to do what other people have done in college football because
Mm-hmm.
I'm him, because I'm Dion, right? But if you want to look at it from the coaching standpoint, I don't think he has done enough to be able to say he's him as a coach. Now, as a human, as an actual NFL college athlete, sure, he can say I'm him. But when it comes to the coaching ranks, I don't think he can be as braggadocious about that.
Phil, that's what he's saying. He's not saying he's him as a coach. He's saying he's him as a person. It's
Then that's
one
Right.
thing
fair.
you have.
Then that's fair. I agree. Then
Yeah, yeah.
I
That's
totally
that's
agree.
what he was saying. And that's what I was trying to tell Harry. He's not saying. Remember, Coach Saban can go into a neighborhood. Yeah, they're gonna know it's Coach Saban. But when Deion Sanders, who not only do these kids know, they know him as Coach Prime. We all know him as Prime Time, Neon Dion. You know what I'm saying? You got
But
hundreds of
Kev,
thousands of people that are gonna come right on that one house. So it's like,
but 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 Harry's point isn't whether or not Dion is right or wrong about being him. His point is that people are going to feel a certain way about it. That's all he's saying. And I think the fact
and
that
you know, and Phil,
enough
you know
people are
what?
disagreeing
And you
says
know what,
that people
Phil?
did feel a way about it.
And you know what, Phil? That's when Prime asks his number one question. Don't He says his number one statement to counter that. Don't
What?
let my confidence offend your insecurity.
But
But
that's
no,
not
but who?
confidence.
Wait. I got a quick point to that. But who was the person that's insecure? Because nobody asked the
I'm not
question
saying
about
you.
in-home visits. No. But this is what I'm saying. Nobody asked him a question about in-home visits.
Exactly.
He wanted to address the article that was written. So obviously, it kind of ruffled his feathers. And then the crazy part about it is, he basically said the article is true. I'm just trying to explain why I don't. So even in him trying to acknowledge, what I'm saying, what the person was saying, like be big bad about it, you're basically saying, yeah, I don't do these in-home visits, but I'm gonna explain why because I'm him. Because
Yeah,
somebody's gonna get
and
offended
it's
if I don't go to this
confidence.
school or that school.
All
And,
right,
it's,
guys. So
and that's
we
that's
got a
his confidence. Just like when Harry B says, "I'm the hottest show on TV, on radio. I mean, on YouTube. This is the hottest show right here." That's his confidence. You could
but
say,
this
"Well,
is the
Harry, I don't know. I don't think you're DJ Vlad or Shannon Sharp or Joe Rogan. I don't know if you should be talking like that, Harry." But no, Harry's confident in himself, and
But that's
and
not
that's
Dion is
Harry's
not the
point.
same
confident in
thing.
himself.
It's not the same. It's not the same thing. But let me bring on. Willie, I see you. Hey man, you got your camera on. I see the gray hair. You got gray hair like me. If you don't mind showing your face, just let me know because I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you soon. But let me bring on See You Buff Dynasty, and then Willie, you're next. Okay. See You Buff Dynasty. Welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
What's up, guys?
What's
Peace,
up,
Luke.
man?
What's
All
going
right.
on?
What's the topic, brother Harry?
All right, so this is what I'm talking about. We're talking about Coach Prime's interview, and what specifically the part of the interview where he talks about where he kind of brings up the whole idea. And do you have time right now for me to play that part of it?
Go ahead. Yeah, I can take this equipment in right quick while you playing that.
All right, cool. So everybody, hold on, guys. Let me go ahead and play this part of the. Let me go ahead and play this part of the interview so everybody can understand where we are and why I'm saying what I'm saying. Everybody still there?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Yeah, I just don't want us to leave the people out in the dark. And I know that some people are going to interpret this the wrong way. What I'm trying to say, and I was ready for that. It's always a thing where people don't understand when you're trying to say something. People kind of misconstrue what you're trying to say, and then they say, "Coach Prime is this, Coach Prime is that." I'm not under that impression. I'm not on that. I started off by saying, "Hey, Coach Prime." You know what I'm saying? Coach Prime can pretty much do whatever he wants to do and say whatever he wants to say. So give me a second, okay, guys. Let me cue this up. Give me a second. Let me cue this up. All right. Last time YouTube, I couldn't put ads on my video, and I have no idea why.
Was it a copy strike or?
I don't know. They don't. Sometimes they don't explain. They just say we're not gonna give you the. We're not gonna let you have it. So I don't know why. But give me a second. I got the interview up right now. I'm queuing it up, guys.
Tremendous difference. Going back to what you asked about coaching, that's another thing that I learned. I'm so very good right now, and shoot, we took the moment to the greatest heights. Like shoot, here. The article that came out that said I don't go on visits.
Right here. I got it right now, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm about to play it right now. Okay. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. No, I'm about to get it. I got y'all.
Okay. All right.
I had to cue it up. Sorry about the dead air. I know it's bad. Give me a second, guys.
Hey,
All
Harry,
right, here
while
we
you
go.
doing that, okay, well, never mind. You got to pull it up. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I got to pull it up right now. We about to go. So let me get my microphone and then I'll you know. So here we go, guys. Let's just play it and then we'll discuss it. I don't want anybody thinking that I don't know. I didn't watch enough of it.
I think I need to dress. I don't know who did it. I don't know if they're in here. If they are, you can just raise your hand like
you can hear it?
Here. I was an article that
Yeah.
came out that said I don't go on visits. Okay. My approach is totally different than many coaches' approach. Sometimes I'm a businessman as well, so I try to save our university money every darn chance I get. So for me to go to, let's just say I'm going to Florida and I'm visiting whatever school, IMG. You don't think those coaches are going to be a little upset if I don't come by the school down the street? You don't think it's going to be pandemonium if I'm going to get naysayed if I don't go another 45 minutes? Then if I go to that one, then I go, well, I didn't come to that school. Now the coach is mad, so he's not going to let the kid come because he's mad because I chose to go to that school over that school. See, other coaches, they can do that, but I can't. And I've really pretty much done a personal survey. I really, truly, in all my heart, believe that parents don't want me in their house. They want to come see my house. They want to see how I live, how I get down. They want to see what I got going on, what God has done in my life. I know when I was in college, I did not want Bobby Bowden in my house because I knew after 7 o'clock, it was going to be rats and roaches on parade doing their thing. So that was just straight up, honestly. I did it. So that never transpired. That never happened for me. And we target mostly guys that's in the portal. When do you make visits to portal guys' homes? Anybody do that? Do they do that? I don't do. Anybody? Have you guys heard of that? I don't. I think when a guy is in his 20s and he has 1 or 2 more shots, he don't give a darn about the picture. He don't give a darn about the parade that you want to take him on. He wants to know, okay, how are you going to use me? How can you help me get to the league? And what am I going to get paid? That's it. That's the world we live in now. And I have never heard one guy say, I chose this college because this coach came by my crib. Have you? It's different now. The parents, I love them. And I want to show them Boulder. I want them to see this and how beautiful it is and why I'm so eager and how much I love this city and this state and this team. I want them to see that because guess what? That's where the kid is coming. Kid coming here. Going there is just showcase for me. This is blowing money. It's blowing a bag. Don't make sense. And I can't do the things other coaches can do. You know what? I'm Coach Brown. And I didn't stutter when I said it.
Coach Shador and Jordan, are you good?
Shador, let me see. Shador, bring Shador in.
I'm Coach Prime, and I didn't stutter when I said it. All right, so that's it.
I agree.
So all right, I'm with it. I can joust with Coach Prime. Listen, man, I
That's
can
not
joust
his
with Coach.
argument, though. I'm sorry, hey. I just want to make sure, hey, like I'm trying to speak for you here, and I'm sorry for that. But like his point is not whether or not he's right or wrong. His point is that people can take it the wrong way. And the fact that we got people saying, yes, he should say it, no, he shouldn't, automatically proves Harry's point. So I just want to make sure we're focusing on the point he's trying to make.
I want. There's a couple of guys in the chat that's saying I sound like whatever, right? But this let me say this, and then I'll let I gotta let Tennis Channel come in and other people come in. But I want people to understand that at the end of the day, this is not about hating on Prime. This is not about telling Prime what to say. It's to say the same thing that you would tell anybody else. The same thing that you would tell Joe Biden if Joe Biden was to say that's just because the Democrats are the best, or the same thing that the same reason why people say other political figures shouldn't say certain things. It's the same reason. But if you're telling me that it's okay that Prime says it's because I'm him and I didn't stutter when I said that, if you think that's okay, then please don't tell anybody else when they say the same thing or in the same vein. Don't tell them that this shouldn't. They need to be humble. They need to do this. They need to do that. Prime is an athlete. He's very competitive. He still talks in that vein, which is fine. It's fine with me. But I'm just saying, like, Prime, the same reason why you are such a big stature, the same reason why people know that you're going to do more than football, it's the same reason why we're saying that there's more people watching you now than just football people. So let me bring on I'm going to bring on the entire panel. Tennis Channel,
Hold on,
welcome
Harry.
to the show.
Let me get
All
my
right, Harry.
let me get my statement on.
All right, so Buff, see you, Buff. Let me just hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me just bring everybody on, and then you'll go, and then you'll just go in line, okay?
Yep.
DC Carson, welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, bro. How about you guys?
All is well. Marie S, welcome to the show. How you doing, sis? You there, Marie? You might have to unmute. All right, so Marie's not ready. Buff
I'm
Dynasty, go,
doing
and then
well, thank you.
awesome. You might have to lower your,
I did unmute.
you might have
Hello?
to lower your, you might have to lower your volume.
Well, thank you.
Hey, mute her.
Okay,
She's
fine.
playing it in
Okay,
back.
see you, Buff Dynasty. You're first, and then we'll go Tennis Channel, DC, and then Marie. So you already know what I'm talking about, right? See you, Buff.
Yeah, I watched that interview. I just want to make something clear in the beginning. I mess with this guy Prime. You know what I'm saying? I really rock with Prime. And I totally agree with the entire interview. I agree with him saying that he's Coach Prime. I think sometimes we put our own perspective and our own context on what he's saying. I didn't necessarily take it as him saying I'm him, so I'm not going to use that narrative. He's saying he's Coach Prime. Whatever connotation you want to put on it, you can put on it. But I agree with him. He can't do the things that other coaches do because he's Coach Prime. I totally agree with it. The only thing I don't agree with was the rats and roaches thing. But it's a new day in football. Everything has changed. There's a new sheriff in town. And
okay. All right.
I agree with it.
All right, cool. So Tennis Channel, go ahead, man. What are your thoughts on that portion of it? Just try to keep it short, guys. 30 seconds. Get in and get out.
It's gonna be hard to do that in 30 seconds, but I'll do my best. Can everybody hear me?
Please. Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Try your best, please. Go ahead.
Okay, listen, man. Harry, we love you, and everybody on the show love you because we're regular on this panel. What you said today was pretty strong, but we just listened at the interview. I go with DC. Listen, Coach did nothing wrong. Everything he said was right on cue because he is Prime. You got to remember, this man come against a whole lot of stuff, okay? A whole lot of negativity. And he knows how to handle himself. Harry, I'm probably the oldest one on this channel, okay? I'm 69 years old and feel damn good about it and pretty smart about it. So I've been knowing Prime a long time. So with that being said, let's continue. But if you will take a poll on this panel, you'll find out that most of the people agree with what he said. The whole panel, I believe,
Okay. All right. So, okay. So DC Carson, what are your thoughts on that premise?
I think that we're mixing Prime as the player and Prime as the coach. Prime as the coach is 4-8, and though he did well on the SWAC, that still does not meet the caliber of where he is now. I don't know why folks are having a hard time understanding that. The second thing I'm gonna say is that you can't just look at Prime for what you like. You have to look at what's palatable to everybody, which is the point that Prime is saying. You like it because you like Prime, but other people that are on the fence or on the other side not gonna like it. And that song, Rob Bass, It Takes Two. He said, I like the Whopper what to the Big Mac. So you got to understand when you're at that level, you're trying to reach as many, you're trying to cast as big a net as you can. And doing that is good for us, but you kind of exclude some people, and that's how I see it.
All right, Miss Marie, what are your thoughts on that? You might have to lower your TV or your computer.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you have feedback.
Hi,
So you gotta
Harry.
lower
Can you hear me?
whatever you're using to watch or listen. You gotta lower it down. You gotta turn it off or lower it down.
Oh. Hi, Harry. Can you hear me?
Whatever you're using to watch or
All right. What about that?
All right, try. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, my
Go ahead.
point is, I agree with most of the folks on the panel, the ones that agree that Coach Prime is who he is. I think the one I think it was DC that said that what he's saying has to be palatable to everybody. And it's not going to be, because we all have our own opinions and the way we see things. So I might say, I want to go left, but you want to go right. So that's just the way it is. Coach Prime is who he is, unapologetically. And I agree. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. So for me, I would, as a parent, my son has already gone to college and is out of college, but I would rather, as a parent, actually go to the institution to actually see where he's going to be living, all of the coaches that he's going to be interacting with, and what's going on in his everyday life.
Exactly.
Versus Coach Prime. Okay, hey, let's get a photo op. You come in my house. God has blessed me. I'm not living, where you see roaches and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it would be cool, yes, because, I'm old school from that era too, as well. But for what? My concern is what's going to be going on day to day with my child, because
All right, so
it's
let's go ahead.
about him. It's not about me.
All
But
right, let's
I
go
will
keep it
say
30
with
seconds.
you, Harry, today, I can't say that you're hating on Coach Prime or there's an issue. I get it. You have your opinion. But for a lot of people, we believe that he's absolutely right. And he didn't just say, I'm him, and that's just the bottom line. He
All right, so
explained exactly where he was coming from. And it's true. If folks know that Coach Prime is coming to my house to recruit my son, everybody in the neighborhood or wherever, everybody, their mom are going to be here trying to see him. So my point is, I didn't see a problem. And you have to remember, he has a different perspective because no one came into his house to recruit him. And he was that guy. So
all right, so
that's
let
his
me
perspective. So I can't do nothing but respect it.
Okay. All right, so that's fine. That's great. Let's go ahead and address the second part of this, which is when people are saying that I'd rather go to Coach Prime than him come to me. Let's understand that when a coach goes to your house, students still have their visits. Coach can go to your house, just like DeBoer with Alabama, just like he makes home visits. After the coach goes there, locks it down, the kids still have official visits and unofficial visits. So we have to understand that at the end of the day, it's not just the coach. Once the coach go to your home, you can't turn around and come to his house to come to the school to see the school, or to make an official visit to see the premises or anything like that. So let's just make that clear. We understand the idea of Coach Prime. I agree with Coach Prime's reasoning for saying that I don't go visit kids. I'm 1,000% with that. I'm
Let's get
1,000% with that. So I want to
Hey,
make that
Harry.
clear.
Hey Harry, it's
Yes.
somebody's reverberating. I can hear a TV or something. Just try to figure out who that is and get them to cut it off.
That was Miss Marie, but I think she's good now. So I just want to make it very clear that the whole idea of, oh, you can come over here, but I can't go over there, that's not a thing. Okay, it's not a thing. You can still, the coach can go there, you can go there. So let's just take that off the board and say it can happen both ways. The coach can still go there. But I like Coach Prime's reason for saying I don't go there because I'm Coach Prime. I'm fine with that. Because he's Coach Prime and he can. I just made a video telling y'all that he's about to be a keynote speaker at CWA, which is an event where people who deal with world issues go there and they talk about the issues that are plaguing our world. That's another reason why he can't do everything that other coaches do. I don't want none of y'all who agree to misconstrue what I'm saying about him making visits and not agreeing with him saying he shouldn't, for his reason not to visit. I thought I made that very clear to say I like the reason. Did I need that reason? I don't care whether the reason was there or not. I didn't need to hear that reason. But the fact that he said the reason, I'm good with it. Yeah. I'm 1,000% okay with the reason why he doesn't go do visits. I just don't know that the way that you communicating to let him know, like, this is the reason, is because I'm Prime and I didn't stutter on that. If you hear it, somebody can take that out of context, and in the media, people have taken it out of context because there's an article that's come out and said that Prime created controversy with his answer. So I'm not just talking I'm not the one saying it. I'm telling you what's in the media, what his detractors are saying. I want to make that very clear.
And Harry, that's what he wants, okay? Because it gets people talking about him. Right. You know better than me. This is the game that Prime has been playing for 30 years to control the media. He controls them. Why do you think they're still talking? As long as they're talking about him, TVs are on him, and they're still talking about him and staying relevant, whether you hate him or love him, or want him to win, want him to lose. This is what he wants. Okay.
So Kev, let me ask you this. Let me ask you, Kev. Let me ask you this, Kev.
He probably could have been sued Jason Whitlock and whatever, all the defamation and all he did. No, he wants Jason Whitlock to talk about him because that's more attention on him. This man knows how to play the media.
Hey, East Coast, I want to say this, and now looking at it again, Harry, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Sometimes you can want people, you can say things just to keep yourself relevant, but some things that you say can also hurt you, also hurt that program. It sounds like, listening at it again, it sounds like he made a lot of excuses of why he doesn't want to go visit. And that's not going to play well with detractors.
But this is why it's not going to play right, because number one, they want to still do it the same old way it's been done, and
right,
not doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So let me ask you this. Well, first of all, you got to look at it from this perspective. You're saying, well, that was the always the new way. not doing does doing it the old way, does that take away from what you can do? It does not. Okay.
No, it
So
doesn't.
believe so my thing would say, if we're going to go there, y'all have to look at it from this consider looking at it. I invite you to look at it from this perspective. You got to look at when Prime says something, is it something to engage his fans, or is it to gain new fans? Does that gain new fans, or does it engage the ones that he has? What you're trying to do, because understand, for Colorado, and let's look at this, because it's not just about Prime. This is an institution that will be there after Prime is gone. Is the tone being set that university is the focus, or is it Prime the focus? I'm saying that from a leadership standpoint.
The
That's why
university is the focus.
right. So
Right.
that's where I'm coming from, is that when I say, I mean, of course, there's going to be people that hate him, but when I say palatable, it's, of course, everybody's not going to like it. But what you're trying to do is create something that is enjoyable for all, and saying stuff like that, it does not give it as much market value as it could.
So
But
do you,
It did to me because we're
that's not
talking
real
about it.
life. But
It
that's
did for
not
me
real
because we were
life.
talking about it. ESPN's talking about it. So
let me
Fox Sports is talking about it. So it seems pretty marketable to me.
let me
While he's pushing the
Hey,
book at the
Well,
same
we talk
time.
about a song. We talk about songs, but think about this. Just because, yes, negative publicity does get you there. I agree with that. But eventually, negative publicity turns on you because it becomes a monster. And I'm not saying that Coach Prime is an excellent marketing genius. However, I think that this is a different beast with it. But again, because I think we're all looking at it from fans, not to a point. If I'm sitting in, let's say I'm in New Jersey
Hmm.
and I'm liking college football, what about this is going to make me say, well, you know what? My team is Rutgers or whatever it is. I think I like Prime too, other than the fact of I like them as a player.
I tell
I'm
you one thing.
I'm from
Yeah, let
Texas.
me say this, then I'll give it right back to you. I
Okay.
say this, I'm rocking with it, but for sure he better win this year, boy. Because if he look anything like 4-8 again, all of this is gonna come right back. The going to Paris, he's gonna see instead of him coaching, he's going selling his book. He's telling we need new linemen, and they gonna throw all this back at him. So he better win this year. Go ahead.
I'm from Texas, and I've never been a college football fan. My course in life was the Army. So
Salute.
I was a Dallas Cowboys fan from a child. My father taught me the game of football by watching the Cowboys when I was a little girl. When he would be yelling at the TV after he finished all of that, we both yelling, then he would break down the plays. So that's how I learned football. I've never watched college football until I started watching JSU when Coach Prime went there. Then I followed Colorado. Now, what I can tell you is he has fans at Colorado that Colorado never had. There are channels that have been established just because he's there. So if a few people are turned off by that, that's fine. Some people may not agree with some things that he's saying, which, I mean, you could take it either way you can. I mean, you want to, but I'm not offended by what he said. And a lot of people aren't offended, but there are some, because like I also watched a take on when Shady McCoy, he was saying all those guys, most of them except Joy, agreed. And I heard Shady, because he was that 5-star guy. He wanted people, coaches to come in his home. I get that. But let me ask you guys a question. Do you really think if there was a player, a 5-star player that said, "Hey coach, I really want to come there, but in order to seal the deal, I need you to come down to Texas." Do you really think Coach Prime will say, "No, dude, I'm him. I can't do it"? I don't believe that, because I think that Coach Prime is, although he is who he is, unapologetically, he will do that. I believe. And I also believe that there are coaches, he has, a number of coaches on his staff that has proven that they are going into these folks' homes.
but
So
can I
So
can I
he's not
interject for
gonna,
a quick?
let me, look, he's not turning, I don't believe the
We got
fans
too
that
many
were
people on the
there,
channel,
he's
guys.
not
You gotta keep
turning
it
them
at 30
off.
seconds. Let's try to keep it at 30 seconds. If you're gonna say
Yeah.
something, we can't
So
go forever.
Okay, come on, Harry. Now I'll be on your channel all the time, and I see folks go on and on and on hating, and
yeah,
they
but we got
get
more
like a
people on
whole
the
hour
panel
with
today.
that. I'm just saying, man, it's the first time I
I'm
got
not
on
trying to
here.
be.
Come
I'm not trying
on,
to be
okay,
disrespectful. I'm
okay,
just saying we got
guys,
a lot of people on the panel. That's all I'm saying.
I get it.
But
Okay, I get it.
We
I
got
think
you,
through
Maria.
all this conversation,
Okay.
the bigger question, more so than is he right or wrong, is this way of recruiting going to be successful? At this moment, we know the quote unquote old school way of doing it has been successful. We don't know if this new age of recruiting is going to work because everything is so new. So to East Coast Kale's point, this year he has to show some success. Otherwise, the detractors will say, see, he's not doing in-home visits. He's all about the clicks. He's all about this. He's all about that. So if you're going to do something different, we have to see it be successful. And at this point, I don't think we have.
Well,
And
he
I'll leave
got
it there.
Hey,
Kamani, he
can I
got
say
Jordan
something to
Seaton.
that?
He didn't. I don't believe he would Jordan Seaton house unless he asked for it, and
But
Kamani
that's
as
one
well.
person though.
But how many
Hey,
That's
can I
guys
one
say
are
person
something
he?
of
real?
a
But
class.
he's not recruiting. His bulk is not at high school.
Right.
He
But
got
And
Marie,
we'll
Cam
find out if
McHale
the portal is going to be
down here at
successful.
Silsbee, Texas. Who did he get down in Silsbee, Texas?
We
That's a
don't know
but
if
start.
the
Marie,
He got
portal
Cam
next.
McHale. Come on,
hey
guys.
Phil, hold on. Phil, hold on. But Marie, I don't know that the conversation is what you're making it though. I don't know that anybody on this panel is saying that Coach Prime wouldn't go to somebody's house. I don't think anybody's made any argument that Coach Prime would not go to a house if he wanted to. That's not the issue here. Nobody's saying Coach Prime wouldn't go visit. He would do that. I'm sure he would do that if he had to lock down a 5-star or a 4-star or whatever he had to do. If somebody called in and say, "Hey, Prime, we can't get to you. Can you come to us?" We know his temperament. We know his attitude. We know who he is. So he would do that. I'm not questioning that. I don't think I am. But let me bring on Jay Will. Jay Will, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So to your point here, real quick, because sometimes I feel like when we have these topics, it's like beating a dead horse. To your point, Harry, the whole point of this topic, from what I'm getting, is it always right to make comments that Coach Brian makes, or maybe even other coaches for that matter, whoever it might be? The media is gonna pick out what they want to pick out anyways. That's their job. In order for a journalist to keep their job, you know that, Harry, you got to find the saucy stuff in order to keep people coming back and engaging in what it is they're trying to sell. So no matter what Coach Prime says, whether it's good or bad, whether it may hurt him or whether it may not hurt him, they're going to pick that out. That's just what people do. We live in a cupcake era where like people are just so sensitive about words and they take it and they want to run with it and turn it into things that it doesn't need to be. But that's what sells. That's just what it is in today's age. So I don't think that, people are going to agree or disagree. That's our opinions. We have the ability to do that. That's why we live in America. Coach Prime knows what he's saying. Don't think that when he goes into these press conferences, he doesn't think about what he's going to say before he says it. So whether it struck a nerve that caused him to say that, I mean, obviously nobody in there asked the question, but, he's no different than us. If there's a topic he feels he needs to speak on, then that's what he's going to do. It just, I think sometimes we just run with stuff too much and it's Coach Prime, so let's just turn it into something that it doesn't need to be. He addressed it. And really, in all actuality, if you look at it and listen to it, he said it in the beginning. I don't go because I'm not focusing on high school recruits. I'm focusing on transfer portal guys. So that's why I'm not going right now. It saves my college money right now. So I'm looking at the bigger picture overall financially, but also as in what we're trying to utilize for the program right now. when we start looking into the future of high school recruits for 2025, 2026, then maybe he'll start making them house visits. But it makes no sense to go make a house visit to pick up a transfer portal kid that's already in college. That kid already knows he wants to come to Colorado or Alabama or wherever he's transferring to. So he made it very clear. I think we just digging a little too deep with it. But, I mean, I get it for topic's sake. You got to have something to talk about. But, I mean, it's very simple. If people would just listen to what the man's saying and stop turning it into this big, huge, blown-out narrative, then we probably get what he's saying right off bat. So that's just my take on it, man.
But he better
Cool.
win
All
this
right,
year
so-
because it's all going
Yeah,
to come back if he don't.
East Coast Cab, 100%. He's got to prove himself. But the thing of it is he's only done one season, and everybody's on this train of, well, he hasn't proven himself as a coach, and he hasn't done this, and he hasn't done that. The man's had one season. Y'all act like he's been doing this for 5-6 years.
Hold on, guys. Listen. This is, you're taking the conversation somewhere that this is why I disagree with a lot of the way that y'all go, because my temperament and my what did I call it? My grace. It's not what you're saying. This is how we argued last time, where y'all put this stigma, this statement on and say, well, he better win or else. That's where I separate myself from y'all, because I can treat events, situations, topics, whatever it is, I can treat them individually without having to say, hey, he better do this or he better do that. That's where I'll have to draw back and say, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, because my grace is not pinned upon if he does this. I'm going to give him enough leash for him to say whatever he wants to say. I'm going to give him enough rope to say whatever he want to say, but he better win or all of this is going to backfire. That's why I'm like saying what I'm saying. We can, and then I also want to say, let's throw in there why is it that when somebody says or have an opinion about Coach Prime, why is it that everybody is saying like, oh, they're either going to call you a stupid, they're going to call you're off base, you shouldn't say X, Y, and Z, but then they never listen and then they argue the other side of something that you're not saying. How is it that we're talking about he better win or else? You see what I'm saying? Why are we saying he better win or else? And I want to go to I want to
answer that question.
Fine. I want to go to Tim, because Tim, this is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying. If you're going to call me names, if you're going to say what I'm not, for me saying, hey, Coach, I don't mind you saying what you got to say. You do your thing. You know what I'm saying? You're Prime. This is the reason why we're all here. But a lot of your people, a lot of the things that you say, it's fine with me, but some people may take it the other way. But then we come back and say, okay, everybody that agrees with him is going to say, hey, I will give you the leash all you want as long as you win. But if you don't win, just know that this is coming. What are your thoughts on that, Tim?
My thoughts on that is you're not really honest with yourself as the individual, as a fan, to call them out on some things, and that's pretty much just my take. You're not really honest with yourself to call him out on certain things. You hoping that he wins, but if he doesn't, then everything that you say is what was a lie, or you're gonna talk about him like a dog.
Exactly.
But why wait till he loses to talk about him like a dog? Why not voice your concerns or frustrations now? So if he do go 4-8 again, you're at ease. You're not jumping off a high-rise bridge.
But see, Tim, the thing, I look at it this way. All right.
I'm coming to Phil. DC, hold on.
Sorry.
I'm coming to you. Phil So Real, please go ahead. We got too many people. We got to keep it short, guys. Phil So Real, the same question to you.
Yeah, yeah. So I think what it boils down to is the people that are saying he better win or else are acknowledging the fact that because he's doing something so different, it has to be proven quicker because you're not going to have as long of a leash. If he was doing things the quote unquote traditional way and you saw the team slowly progress and become successful, people would be able to accept it a lot easier than him being this black, braggadocious, gold chain wearing coach that has, DJs in the locker room, things of that nature. So when you're doing something that's against the status quo, that's against the norm, you got to have success quick because otherwise people are going to grow tired of it really quickly. And I think that's the point they're making when they say he better win or else.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
the
so
point
like
I
that
was making.
statement.
tennis
I
channel,
like
hold
I
that
on,
was
I'm
statement.
coming to
Yeah.
you. I'm coming to you guys. Just
all right.
give it a chance. So tennis channel, your chance to answer this question. Are they really telling on themselves? Because if you disagree with me, you're like, oh, Harry, you're dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you blah 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 blah. But then you saying he better win. Aren't you kind of saying, well, yeah, I don't really agree with everything he's saying, but if he wins, I'm all good with it. But if he doesn't win, then then maybe I'll come for him later. What are your thoughts on that, tennis?
Well, Harry, everybody on this show that knows that I'm the most optimistic person about Coach Prime and the Colorado team, you know, this year. So you'll never hear me say anything like that because I know with any program that's going to be successful, it's going to take some time. Prime is taking a different approach to the whole thing, and yes, it has yet to be proven, but we're on a good track with it. We have to be careful when we say things about Coach Prime and about the program that we're not sounding like we're we're jumping on on the side of the detractors. And we have a couple of people here that they call it quote reality, but it's you have to remember when you are talking um, about this program of Coach Prime, you got to remember: are we saying it to build it, or saying it to tear it down? If you're tearing it down, you better have a building process in place.
Okay. All right. So DC Carson, you understand the question, or should I re-ask the question?
Re-ask it, please.
All right. So there's a lot of people on this panel as well that they remember I've talked about this in several other videos where they talk about where they have this reserve thing, right? They're waiting, like, okay, I will give him as long of a leash as he needs to be as bombastic, do whatever he to be him, as long as he wins. If he doesn't win this year, then we coming for him. Is that fair? Is that even a good way to even be a fan? And then you're questioning my fandom for me letting it out now and asking my questions now and still being able to give him grace. Is it fair to call me out? But then you got reserves thing coming for him if he doesn't win. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's absolutely wrong, and that goes right with what I was going to say. Is that listen, that people are saying stuff coming at you that way, but the end of the day is you can't turn around and say, "Well, guys, it's been there 1 year," but then turn around and act like, "Oh, it's going to be great." You can neither say it's going to succeed nor fail from 1 year, so you can't be pissed off at each other. The bottom line is that he really needs 4 to 5 years. So the people that are optimistic, you need to chill that thing down because next year might be very good, and the year after that might not be good. As well as the haters need to say, "Hey, give time." I'm a realist, so I'm not sitting here saying he's gonna fail. What I am saying is, I don't think it's realistic to expect that this year, next year, is going to be where you're going to see a team. Because if you sit back and say, "Well, he went 1-11," which Colorado was not a perennial 1-11 team; they were a 4-8 team. So let's stop using the numbers to say what we wanted to say. What we got to do is give him time. And that's my concern, even listening to this conversation today, is that you got this battle, but at the end of the day, he needs time. And it's probably going to take 4 to 5 years.
So Marie, I'm coming to you, and that's what I've been saying. This is the mature thing to do, is to not have a fan base that just have this thing, you know what I'm saying? Not get this fan base to just be like, oh my gosh, we love him, but we got him on a time clock. Like what type of fan base is it where you either do this or else? Like
I want to answer that next.
I'm giving you a leash because because this is what it is. Is that really a fan that you want, or is that the fan that coach is talking about? I can't give you my remote because you're up and down. Marie, that's on you. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, Harry, this is what I believe. I believe that win, lose, or draw, I'm going to still be rocking with Coach Prime. And here's
Yeah,
why.
me too.
Because, and here's why. It's because it's bigger than football. Now, some guys, and there are some coaches, I mean, there's some great coaches out there that really cares about the kids, but when it's all said and done, it's a business. But Coach Prime actually cares about these kids. This man is a millionaire. We know he got money. He can sit down at his house for the rest of his years and be great. But he's trying to do something not only for his kids but other kids, whether they go to the league or not. He's going to also, I believe, help these guys to become from boys to men.
Mm-hmm.
So it's bigger than football, and I'm going to be rocking with him. So your title when you first came out, and I was a subscriber from the beginning when you first came out, and you had the perfect title, Bandwagon Buff. Now those that are bandwagons, yeah, they're going to fall off. If you ain't winning, if you ain't showing me something, then you're going to fall off. And then you also have to know my perspective. My perspective is I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a little child. So I've seen the good and now we at the ugly. So I'm going to always be a fan because that's a connection between me and my father, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as what he does this year, I'm going to always believe, hey, I'm going to go into a season and I'm going to believe, hey, we're going to go 12-0. I mean, is that realistic? I mean, probably not, but I'm not going to say that any team is unbeatable because on any given Sunday, when I watch the NFL, any team is beatable. I don't care if you won 3 straight championships. Any team is beatable. So that's my point. I'm not going to, as a fan, as a person who is supporting this man, what he's doing for those young men, I'm going to always be a fan of what he's doing. So I'm going to always look at the positive. I'm just that person.
All right. So Jay Will, I see you above Dynasty and the Oracle stretch, and then East Coast Cap. East Coast Cap, what happened? How did you jump back to the front? Let me get Jay Will, and then I'll get East Coast Cap, and then I'll bring the other guy.
Me on purpose.
I was just going down the line, and then I don't know what happened to your thing.
It's magic.
Jay, I ain't afraid of you, East Coast. I ain't afraid of you.
Hey, Harry, I gotta say this real quick. You know what? For 45, man, you look good, brother. God bless you, man.
For 45,
or
I'm more than
48,
45.
whatever you are. I thought you were younger than me, and I'm 40,
Yeah.
so I thought I had you.
Jay Will, what are your thoughts? And I'll just remind you about the segment. We're talking about fans that have reserved, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but like Marie is saying, I'm riding regardless. I'm BWB, and the reason why I'm BWB is because of Coach Prime. So that means I'm Coach Prime first, before Colorado, before anything. Wherever he goes, I'm there. That's what BWB means. So I'm always with him. I don't care. I can say, hey, Coach, hey, man, maybe help us out. Help us. Those who love you, help me out. Because when you start putting that red meat out there, I gotta defend you. You're the ticket. But besides that, what's up with people saying, man, he better win or else? What are your thoughts on that, Jay Will?
Listen, I agree with East Coast Cav on, if he don't win this year, if he doesn't do better than 4-8, people are gonna crucify him. That's just facts. We know that, and that's why I was agreeing with him. It's all gonna come and backfire on him. I mean, we all know that. But I think that we just, once again, I've been a Prime fan. I'm not going to sit here and say I was a Colorado fan. And, I didn't even think twice about Colorado until Prime came over there. But I support what the man is doing. I believe in what he's trying to build in his program. He's trying to build not just NFL players, but young men, going into life and being able to understand that there's just more than football and not all of them are going to make it there. You know, I just feel that I think people just put too much emphasis on everything that the man does because it doesn't fit that cookie cutter narrative of what most coaches have been doing. You do something different, and if people don't think that the different is right, they're going to throw whatever they can throw at them to make it not succeed because it doesn't fit the narrative. Coach Prime does not fit the narrative. I mean, when he was doing what he was doing over at Jackson State and being successful and bringing ESPN over there and bigging up that college and bringing that college up from the hole that it was in, nobody cared about it. But because now he's over at Colorado on a bigger platform and he's on a bigger limelight, now all of a sudden Coach Prime can't coach. He don't know what he's doing. He's egotistical. He's a narcissist. He's this, he's that, he's the third. Now, Harry, I agree with you. Sometimes you got to be mindful of what you say, and I believe that was the point of you starting this discussion today, was saying that you can't always just go on and say things because it doesn't always bode well for you because the media will attack that. But you and I both can agree that no matter what that man says or does, someone somewhere is going to find a way to try to make Coach Prime look bad. I don't know why there's so much hate towards the man. I'm not going to say it's because of color, because everybody throws everything out there. It's because he's an African American coach. There's a lot of.
That's 30 seconds. Let's get somebody else in here.
All right. Yeah.
All right. So East Coast Cav, go ahead, and then I got to bring on the other guys that are waiting.
Yeah, let me give you 30 seconds. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the brother was saying, not me, because I know it take time. Because I know with Nick Saban, when he first came to Alabama after failing in the NFL, when he first came there, he was what, 6 and 7, So it took time for him to build his program. So it take time for Prime to do the same thing. All I'm saying is, with everything that he's doing, if it looks anything like 4-8 next year, all of the detractors are going to come back at him again. They're going to throw all this back at him. It's going to be, oh, he's going to Paris, and then don't y'all remember he wore a dress? And then all that stuff is going to come right back again, and they're going to throw all this right back in his face. That's why I said he has to win this year. He don't have to be 12-0 undefeated. I believe it, but he don't have to be that. But he has to look better than 4-8. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so I would challenge you. I would say this to you. Coach Prime can win 12 games, and the detractors will move the needle and say anything they want to say. This is the reason why I challenge you as a fan. When you say stuff like that, I challenge you as a fan because I feel like Coach Prime talks about you, specifically East Coast Cav. He won't call you by name, but there's a lot of you. And this is the reason why I'm coming at you like the way I'm coming at you right now, because I don't want to hear that from you. I want to hear that from like some of these guys that are in the chat that just come here to just be against Coach Prime. When the fan says he better win, it sends a negative message to my brain to say, well, when you say that, are you saying that what I'm saying is true, but you don't want to agree to it yet until he wins? Or are you just being what? What are you doing? Because I'm taking my frustrations out in the open. And I'm saying, Coach Prime, I don't like what you said about X, Y, and Z. I like what you said about X, Y, and Z, but I just don't like the way you said it. It's all good. We understand you. We know where you come from. We know when you talk. So when I say stuff like that, everybody wants to say, oh, Harry B's this, Harry B's that. But I'll be saying, hey, man, I still have a certain grace because I'm like Marie, I'm ride or die. I'm riding. I'm wherever Coach Prime is. But that's what I'm saying. So I don't have no reserve anything. When we have this discussion, I'll leave it alone. You're never gonna catch me if Coach Prime goes 3-9 next year. You're not gonna catch me and say, well, he shouldn't have said this, he shouldn't have said that. You know why? Because I'm dealing with it right now. I'm talking about it right now. But you know what some of these fans are gonna do? Especially the ones that are coming against me for even talking about it right now. You know what they're going to do? Because I know they did that last year. They're going to be the same ones that come back and say, Well, now they're going to be backstepping. Now they're going to be like, well, he's him. Maybe he should have went on that recruit instead of saying he was him. He should have went on that. He should have went to go see a few 5 stars. Maybe he should have went to people's homes.
Well, my thing is this, Harry. I'm riding with Prime regardless. I was riding with him since Jackson State. I was defending him because I felt he should have taken a better opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I was still riding with. They can go 1-11 next year. I'll be mad, but I'm still going to ride with him. All I'm saying is that the detractors are going to. I know what they're going to say. They're the ones that are going to say.
Going to say that regardless, but I don't want the fan to even. What I'm telling you is, you're not alone. I'm just trying to tell you what you're saying. Some of these so-called fans, that's what they've been saying, because Coach Prime went 4-8, and I heard that. I'm trying to tell you, I got data from behind the scenes. I track people. I track them on other channels, their comments, the things that they say. The people that will be commenting early and saying, Coach Prime, oh, why are you talking against Coach Prime? Those same people have reserve, and they have the reserves, and what they're going to do in the end of the day,
they turned on him.
They're going to turn on him. And that's why I feel so good, because KMS says, Harry B, if you just say, KMS 99 says, Harry B, if you just say what the fans like to hear, your channel will grow faster.
Well, KMS is a troll. KMS is a troll.
No. Listen, he said, but what he said was true. If I tell you, if I say what you want to hear, my channel will grow faster. But I'm not for those people.
So how do you explain Jason Whitlock? His channel is 400,000 people. He don't say what everybody want to hear.
No. Listen, I want to clarify what he was saying. I'm trying to tell you what he said was it was sarcasm. It was sarcasm in nature. He was saying, if I just say what everybody wants to hear, then my channel will grow faster. And I'm not saying, I don't say what everybody wants to hear. That's why I don't grow fast, and I'm fine with that.
Well, he's not saying that from a respectful standpoint. He's saying that because he's trolling. There's a difference, Harry.
But I'm trying to explain it to you. I'm trying to explain what the trolling, even in the trolling, means. My channel's not going to grow fast because I like where I'm at, because I know I took a poll myself, like Coach Brown took a poll. I took a poll for myself, and there's a lot of fans that say they're for Coach Prime, and they're so zealous, and they tell me all the time, why are you saying this? I'm unsubscribing. But I see them in other channels. I see them in other places. Talking trash. And then if the season does not go the way they wanted to go, they will be the same ones coming back and going to different places, even in the enemy's camp, and saying, well, yeah, you're true, you're right. They will go to a Jason Whitlock video and say, yeah, you were right. He shouldn't have said that.
That same thing. And you know, you're right. And you're right, because that happened this year. And that happened this year. I agree with you.
I know that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I see what you're saying now.
And that's what I'm saying. People need. That's why I said those fans. I don't listen to those fans. You can go. I'll be fine at 12,000 because I can get sponsors. I can eat. I'm good at 12,000 as long as the people that are the real ones, they understand where we at. But let me bring on Stretch, the Oracle Stretch, and then I'll bring on CU Buff Dynasty guys. Sorry I held you so long in there. We got a big panel today, but CU Buff Dynasty, you go first, and then I'll get Stretch. Buff Dynasty, you've been waiting for a while.
I'm so far behind on the point. So much that went by, I ain't been able to respond to it. I'm gonna just interject this right here, and I'm gonna let it slide. This will be 10 seconds. We started off talking about the home visits. Man, let me tell you something, man. I just want to say this. And most of the people on the panel already know how I am. Man, these white coaches coming into your house, eating your food, taking a picture, they just doing that to get these players. The dog gonna help them continue to get the paycheck. They don't care about them players. They want to use them for 2-3 years, take the little picture, send them right back to the same living room that they came and took the picture in. So it ain't those doggone pictures and all that stuff is not even that significant to me.
I was trying not to go there, see you, bro, but you did it, man. I was trying to keep my mouth shut.
It's not even that significant to me for any coach to come and take a picture. And then the other coaches that do it, they have to do that. Kirby Smart has to do it. Nick Saban has to do it because they are not a Coach Prime. I'm going to just drop that and leave it right there, man.
All right, so let's go to Stretch. Stretch, welcome back to the show. You took a hiatus. I hate that you took a hiatus. I know a lot of people are against you, but, man, let me hear your opinion. Welcome, brother. I appreciate you.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I understand that, but
No,
what are your thoughts on before you answer or you go back? I want you to answer these so-called passionate fans. They're so passionate. They don't want to hear anything right now, but if coach don't win, if he don't win tomorrow, then all of a sudden now they want to really express how they really feel about the back things that he said. So what are your thoughts on that, brother?
Well, like everybody been saying, everybody got great points, and I'm just going to tell you some things and do a correlation with other seats and spots. There's a legacy threshold that's upon American people as well as earthly people. And when you are subjected to a position of authority, there is a certain way you carry yourself. No matter if you Spanish, black, white, yellow, green, purple. You know, not to bring Donald Trump up, but Donald Trump defaced the most prestigious authority figure in the United States history with him being a president, with his the derogatory comments, his character, the backlash of his character, and I would have never voted for somebody like him. I don't have any rights to vote, but I'm just saying if I did,
Hey,
we as a people we have evolved. Let me finish talking, dog. We have evolved into people where we just can
You
say
you
what we
you've been
want to
waiting for a
say,
long time, so I'll give you 30 more seconds. So let's get it in there.
do what we want to do, say how we want to say. And I told a couple guys on the panel the other night, Coach Prime carries himself like a dignitary. He's not just going to be going in people's houses. Just like you say, he want them to come to his house. He got a slogan that say, I ain't hard to find. So we're going to knock that out the park. Is it good for coaches to go visit players? Yeah, it's like a blue chip. If you in a war to win a blue chip, yeah, you're gonna touch down. Yeah, you're gonna put down. Yeah, you're gonna make yourself visible. But some of these players, they're gonna go after Coach Prime because he's already been visible. So it's just like a mouse trying to get a piece of cheese out the trap. They already got a trap set up, and they already running ads and marketing for the slogans and stuff. So they're just going to stick to what they believe in. It's just like running a campaign. That's why I say when you're an authority figure, there's certain ways you answer questions when you in the media. If you media trained, as you so-called say, yeah, we have freedom of expression, but sometimes every expression is not wanted.
man. Harry B,
All right.
let me respond right quick,
Hey,
please.
can I say something real? Oh, go ahead.
Let me say something, man. I
All right.
and I'm gonna say this to Stretch. I'm gonna say it while he right here on the panel. I I very rarely, and this is no disrespect, brother. I never really like your takes because the thing about it is what I consider hate. We can come and strategically criticize Coach Prime for the things that he does and doesn't do. But when you come and it's like you never have anything positive to say. You always hone in on all the negative stuff about Prime. So I don't like your takes, man. You are one of the ones that I consider a hater because you constantly go in on everything bad that you can pick out on Coach Prime. And I don't like that. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm telling you, straight to your microphone or whatever, bro. Tell me some of the positive things about Coach Prime that you like, because I never heard you say anything like that.
Well, we're not. That's not the question on the board. So we're not talking about positives or negatives. But I think he was
Hey,
speaking on the idea. The question that was on the board was whether, in general, the idea of how he said what he said. It's not like what you said, but it's how you said it. That was what was on the board. I
Yeah, but
have I will
he goes
I
heavy
have heard I
though.
have heard a Stretch several times speak very positively about Prime in different conversations, and I do have the clip and I do have the receipt. So I'm going to say that before he answers you. Go ahead, Stretch.
Nah, man, I'm just saying, man. All of us go through things in life where we're gonna be dissected if you are a place and you're a place in your life where you have scrutiny or you have someone watching your every movements. So if you feel like every time I strike a nerve with my conversation, dealing with Coach Prime and his antics, then that's your prerogative. But me, I'm gonna speak my viewpoints on how I see things. Like I told everybody since I've been on these panels, I get nervous watching the CU game, so I am invested in Coach Prime's journey. I don't care what you say. I don't care what nobody else say. I don't even care what he say. I care what I say. And with that being said, there's a certain way you carry yourself, and if you don't carry yourself in that type of manner, then people have the right to speak their opinion. And if you want to take my opinion as factual, or you want to disregard what I'm saying, that's your opinion. But I have a freedom of speech, and I'm going to continue to speak my speech,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I'm
That's
going to
true.
keep
And
speaking my knowledge on what I believe in. And
I
I've already
understand.
said
I
certain
understand.
things before we got to this point. I've already said certain things before we got to this point of how I view the CU program. And it only speaks volume to what I've seen 6 months ago to where we at right now. So all I'm there is just accountability guy. And because I've been down that track where I fucked up, excuse my language, I still owe the piggy
Oh,
bank
come on,
jar.
man. Now
You'll
I'm not
get that
getting
in
paid,
person
man.
today.
Oh my gosh. You cannot
I,
drop
I
F bombs on the show.
yeah, I understand you, Stretch. I just wanted to make that clear, man, that you have a very strong negative connotation on everything you say. That's just my opinion and the way I hear it. But we can agree to disagree. I understand what you're saying.
Hey, Harry, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Tim. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I was just gonna say to the gentleman, I don't know who it was, but they was talking about the Kirby Smarts and Nick Saban's coming up into kids' home and taking a photo. Um, that's the old traditional method. Those kids, even to 2024, still enjoy that memorabilia that they could put up on their wall or whatever. But to talk about what I was saying earlier about how things are changing, and I really didn't agree with why Coach Prime stated what he stated in the press conference about going into kids' homes. And then, but on the flip side of that, I understand why he want them to come to see you, because he has his recruiters as the salesperson. So having them come to see you, having the his recruiters as the sales team to bring them in, and then having Coach Prime to close. I feel
Yeah.
like he closes on kids a lot easier and faster, and he's changing the uh the narrative of going to a house. I can close on you faster if you come here versus me
But
going to you.
but can
So
I address that here when Tim finishes?
I want you to
go ahead,
address it,
Phil.
but I want to add a question so that we'll start with you, Phil. When you address it, I want you to answer this question also. Did we really need the answer do we really need him to answer that question or to answer that article? So address it and then answer that question, and then we're going to tennis channel.
Okay, cool. So to Tim's point, I want to go back to what I put in the chat on the panel, and then what Harry tried to drive home is the on campus visit, the official visit is a natural part of the recruitment process. So they're gonna come to Colorado anyway. That in-home visit is usually supposed to be the cherry on top. Okay, now I'm Coach Prime. I get to see your living conditions, and now I can kind of narrow in and hone in on how I need to do my recruiting pitch to try to close you. Because you're not gonna recruit the same guy the same way that's living in the apartments as opposed to living in the gated community. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna use that same spiel for those two guys. Harry, to your point, no, I don't think he needed to address the article. The article was going to get play because there's something negative against Dion, but I think the fact that he acknowledged it and brought it up, it made it an even bigger deal. And whoever the writer is of that article, they probably going to start doing more things like that because now they're up under his skin and he's gonna start calling them out, and people are gonna go to the article, and it's gonna drive their numbers up. So everybody's getting money off of it.
How do we know they weren't
Oh,
going to bring it up?
but hold on. I'll come to you. You'll get your
Harry,
chance
you
to.
coming to me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming to everybody. So yeah, Tennis Channel, did we really need him to address the article? Because I mean, we know that Coach Prime is watching. He watches this show. He watches other shows. And we know he's reading the newspaper. Even if he says he doesn't read it, he's reading. But does he really need to address everything specifically, especially this article? Did we really need that? Answer the question specifically for this article. Did we need an answer about why he doesn't visit students?
I think we did. I think he did the right thing by addressing it. He brought it up. Remember, nobody asked the question. But he said he asked the question. He posed it back to the guys who were there. So let me share something with you guys really quick. Oscar Michaud. Oscar, you should know who. Harry, you should know who Oscar Michaud is. Okay, he was the first black filmmaker. And in his biography, he said he would wake up in the morning, every morning, to see which direction the world was turning or going. And he said he would always go in the opposite direction. He would go in the opposite way which everybody else was going. So this is why we see Prime and see him the way he is. He's not going to go the traditional way. He's not going to do it the way that everybody else has done. And we see that already. We see it every day. The whole college program, the whole college thing, we see it every day. So there shouldn't be any, there's no argument about it because he's not going to change it. That means he's going to be just like everybody on this panel. He's going to be just like us. Hello? Y'all still there?
Yeah.
That's why I get a hand clap at.
Okay.
Well,
all right. So,
and I agree with him on that. I agree with him. That's why I was saying earlier, I don't mean to cut you off, Harry, but when somebody does something different or it doesn't conform to what everybody else is doing, then it seems to be a problem for everyone because it's not the way that everybody else is doing it. So, Coach Prime, he's not going to be successful at it because it's not the way a Saban did it or whoever else did it. So I agree with him 100% on that. And that's what I was trying to say earlier. I think that because he's doing things differently, it's just an easy target to put on his back and go after him for it. So that's just my opinion.
Okay. All right, cool. So DC Carson, did we really need an answer? Did he really need to answer that article?
I would probably say if you already stated which we already knew that's kind of was his strategy. No, but I would pose the question of this. Maybe he addressed it, not that because it's being used against him. I mean, you got to sit back and look at it that if he's strategic and stuff, you also have to factor in that he might be trying to fire off something because that has been damaging them behind the scenes. I'm not saying it is, but I think he's entitled to do whatever he wants to do. I just think people need to understand and whether they agree with it or not, to not get to a point where this is the way it's going to work, or he said this. Just because he said it doesn't mean that it's necessarily 100% valid. I think that, well, I'll say this real quick. I think that going to the home doesn't hurt him. And I also think that a possibility it could give him some good PR. And then on the other end, a good place for, because we got to now retain. So I'm not soldiers. We got to retain players. And I think that can also go in there. Look, whether he goes into a home, that's his choice. But I think we have to be careful is that understand you are still operating in an environment where the old is still solid, and that has been a best practice that generally works.
Okay, but we got to remember one thing. They're not playing in Florida, Georgia. They're playing in Colorado. So I don't see no point in they can come to Colorado. That's what the budget is there for.
You're taking Marie's time.
No, she got it. I just wanted to say that she got it.
All right, Marie. All right, Marie. So I'm gonna throw something else. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna throw something else in there with you for you. Did the answer do us any better? I mean, I know that the question is that did he really have to answer that question? And then on the flip side, were we better off not knowing, or did it get better with us knowing? Marie, that's your question.
Yes. So, Harry, I believe that, well, I'm glad that he did address it because I do watch other sports channels. Like I keep going to stories, but as a child growing up, I always did sports. So I enjoy watching sports. So I do listen to different sports channels. And in that article was actually getting national coverage. So I also watch YouTubers, and I'm telling you, I saw it on at least 6, 7 other channels that was talking about that article. So I don't have an issue with him addressing it. I'm glad he did. And with him explaining it, for me, he didn't have to give me an explanation. I was good with him not doing it because of his health issues and other things. And he's already said that the other guys are out there, in homes. But I do agree. Yeah, I agree that he should have addressed it to the masses. And I think for some people, it didn't change their opinion because they're always going to find the negative in things. But for some people, it did give more clarity because, again, when I watched some other channels, they understood at that point where he was coming from, not just honing in on the last words he said because I'm him. They actually listened to the whole thing and got, the different points that he made.
Mhm. All right, so see you, Buff Dynasty. Did we need the information? Did we really have to know why? Because I was fine with not knowing. But what are your opinion? What's your opinion?
I was fine with not knowing, but did he have to address it? Yeah, gaining traction. So some things you have to address, and a lot of things you got to let slide. That's
The audio's breaking up.
yeah. I'm on the highway.
Oh, okay. So you wanna say that again because your audio broke up.
I'm on the highway. I agree with it. He had to address it. Yes.
Okay. All right. So who did I miss? Jay Will, did you speak yet? Did you go yet?
I kind of spoke on it a little bit, but just like I said earlier, he felt that was something he needed to speak on. As far as him going to these athletes' homes and recruiting them, he made it very clear. He said, "I'm focusing on the transfer portal. There's no need for me to go to a kid's house that's already in college and knows what the process is." So, may it help us next year or the following year of him going and trying to pick up high school kids. I think it always can help, but I look at it from the standpoint of this Coach Prime. He knows what his process is. He knows what he's trying to do. He knows where he wants to take the program. He knows his staff. So, I mean, really, he didn't have to give me an explanation, but, some people need that. Some people need that clarification. Whoever decided to throw that out there, obviously that was a concern for them, or maybe not a concern. It was just another dagger to throw his way to try to get some more heat started. But it is what it is. I think either way, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But going into the next few seasons, sure, it could help for him to go, but he's got his reasons.
So I mean, I like I said, I didn't need the answer because now I
Health was
think the
never an
answer,
issue.
huh?
No, I was saying health was never an issue because he was flying commercial during his book tour. So to be able to fly private and go on these recruiting visits, private is a lot more comfortable than commercial. So clearly, like the blood clots are not an issue like we thought they were. So I don't think people need to keep bringing
Yeah,
that
but you
to
gotta
it.
understand something. Jim Harbaugh, they're comparing him to when I saw it on ESPN. They're comparing him to Jim Harbaugh, who went on 145 visits. Prom ain't doing that.
Now
He's
that's
not.
ridiculous. I think
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
that's
on
that's a
ESPN.
bit much. That's I mean
You
I
know,
think that's a bit much. But if he can go, let's say he has 20 guys that's on his list that he wants to look at from high school. He can do half of them. The top guys on your board, you can go
Who
see
is
those
that? Is
guys if
that
he if
DC?
he wanted to. No, this is Phil. He can go to those guys if he wanted to. And what it boils down to is Dion is not going to do anything he doesn't want to do, and that is fine. If it works, he's a genius. If it doesn't work, the detractors are going to point it out a year from now, 2 years from now, or whenever the case is.
Yeah.
So and the weird thing is, it's not just the detractors, it's the so-called I'm a super fans that's gonna do that weird thing that they do. And I'm gonna reiterate what I said earlier. I want you super fans out there that's been trolling me the entire time in the chat. I want you super fans to please keep the same energy up or down. Coach Prime does not give you his remote because you're not real. You're just reserved. You don't want to deal with no issues. You don't want to talk about nothing. You think everything is great. I should say exactly what you want, and then you will subscribe to my channel. I should say anything. I should just pump up Coach Prime and not say anything because that'll make you feel better about yourself. But I discuss these things because it's people are talking about it, people are saying stuff about it, and I'm just saying, listen, Coach Prime is the ticket. Everybody knows that I said that on this channel. We know Coach Prime is the ticket. We like Coach Prime, not just for football, but we're BWBs because we've been following Coach Prime for the way that he treats, for the way that he deals with his family. He's a family man, and I said in that video, he's our Huxtable. Coach Prime is our Huxtable. So that's the idea of it. He's our
Hey,
Cliff Huxtable.
hey, Harry, I agree with Casey in the chat. They made a comment about a lot of the issue is folks aren't concentrating on Alabama and all these other bigger schools, and all of a sudden the focus is on Colorado. So there are a lot of haters on a lot of different teams that are all of a sudden anything Coach Prime does and says, is highlighted. Now let me say this other thing. I enjoy what Coach Prime is doing for those guys now. I can't say when I was younger and even watching the Cowboys that I was a Coach Prime fan, specifically like a person, because he was real flashy. I'm not that person. But what I tell you today and what I love about him is what he's doing for those kids. But I do agree with KC in the chat talking about, a lot of people are distracted because everybody have these strong fan bases to all these different colleges. And now a lot of that focus has come off of those other colleges and now it's on Colorado and they hate that.
Well,
Well,
I
would
would have
say
to
this.
say,
Hold on,
I,
hold on.
I,
I would say this.
Okay, calm down. Okay,
I'll
calm
give it to you, DC. I'll give it to you, DC. I would say this. I think this is one of the reasons why we're here, is because Coach Prime is bigger than football. Coach Prime has transcended, football, and he's a bigger stature. And that's one of the reasons why we're having this conversation, is because he can't just do like what everybody else does, like every other coach does, because he just transcends the sport, which is fine. And I think CU gets that, and they're using him correctly. Not using him correctly, but they're working with him correctly. The same thing that I think that Jackson State needed to do, but they didn't understand his stature. They didn't understand what they had in their grips, and they misused him, or they missed work with him. Okay, I don't want nobody to get caught up on the words that I'm using, but they didn't work with him the right way. So at the end of the day, everybody's here because of Prime. That's why I took the position where I stay as an elder statesman, right? From a lot of these channels, because a lot of these channels that are out here that are saying all the right thing, that are pumping them up, I'm a little older from a lot of these people. And I like to say, Prime, we love you and we support you. I just don't want Prime to give the detractors any red meat, because I don't need it. I didn't need to hear that. That's fine. If he said it, I'm fine with it. But when you give them red meat, when you say, "Hey, I can't do what I do because of this," I'm not harping on the negatives. If you watch my videos, I bring a lot of positives. How many people brought the video about him being a keynote speaker? How many people you know that finds other videos to make about other people on this team, Rick George and those other people?
None.
I just want everybody to understand that there's more to this than football, and that's why we got to protect the ticket. If you're not interested in protecting the ticket, then what you're going to do is you're going to be a go prime, go, take the leash, take the leash. But if you don't win, then I'm going to unleash my venom or my vengeance against you and then start calling out the bad things that you did that irritated me before. I'm not that person. That's fake. That's phony. That's hypocritical to me. I want everybody to understand my standpoint. That's hypocritical to me. Go ahead, Stretch.
Nah, all I was saying was there are certain things that we want, you know, and there are certain places we want to go. And being a BWB, you know there's fair weather fans. You know there's fans that don't want to wait 3 years. You know there's fans that we want it right now.
That's right. We gotta win
So
that
you
natty right
can't,
now.
yeah, you can't be mad at those people. You know, you gotta accept things. I remember this one thing. God give me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, and give me the courage to change the things that I can. Everybody got to stop, you know, patronizing and vilifying people that don't agree with certain people. Just we can agree to disagree. We
See,
don't have.
Stretch, and see, Stretch, I agree with that. And what I was going to say is that I'm not saying Colorado is good, but I was just responding to the Sister Marie. She has great points, but it's like, how can you say all eyes are on CU if you haven't like looked at what people from Bama or people from Kansas or people from UCLA? Because I go to those boards, and if you'll go and look at like at the other teams in the Big 12, they're not talking about Colorado. And I purposely went and looked. So I think that sometimes we can kind of have
But
a
that's a
love for
general
prime.
statement, though. I think that's a
But
general statement because
Okay.
there ain't no
what
California.
Hold
There's
on,
no
DC.
ain't no
Hold
but
on,
y'all not gonna let me
DC.
California.
finish my statement.
No,
But
but
the
I don't
fact
think it
is,
was a. I
but
don't
the
think
fact
it was saying
Okay, well, Harry,
there's
let me
no board.
I
respond.
didn't finish my statement, but go right ahead.
No. I said again. I said, Harry, let me respond after DC because he specifically responded to something that I said. I just want to clarify.
Right. What
So
I'm
go ahead, DC.
saying
You finish
is
the show and then
right.
she'll respond.
Right. What I'm saying is what I see in the CU community is the tendency to say all eyes are on us. There are eyes on you, but it's more so you, and that you have to go look at some of these other groups. I'm not trying to sit here and because I've looked at it. That I'm only saying what I've seen. I think I'm here because I like Colorado and I like the Colorado community. I am a hardcore Bama fan. I'm never going to sidestep that, and I shouldn't have to. But I'm also a hardcore college football fan while I'm here. But I do think that's a misnomer to believe that there's eyes from the other fan bases that are on you. For the most part, they're not talking about CU. And I'll go right ahead.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Marie.
Okay. So DC, I was on something that Casey said in the chat, and I agreed with what Casey said in the chat. And it's a fact. I was not a college football, and I said this, fan at all. I didn't watch college football. I watched the NFL. So what I'm saying is there are a lot of NFL watchers, never really paid attention to college until Coach Prime came on board. There are people, I live in Texas. Do I have some Colorado gear? Yes. How many teams are here in Texas? Okay. So what I'm saying is and I also said in one of the comments is that no, I was not a lifelong Deion Sanders fan. You know, I mean, I respect everything he did in the game. He's wonderful. So no, I'm not one of those blind folks that don't know anything about ball and I just love this person. No. I'm not that girl. But what I'll say is, if you comment on something that I said, then please take it in context. And yes, there are other people from other teams that are looking at Colorado, i.e., there was just an interview done on another channel. I think it was Darius' channel. Wakari, I don't want to missay the guy's name. Anyway, he's an O lineman. When he finished his football game, he was turning on to see what CU was doing because that's where he needed to be. And the reason why I know that other fan bases are looking at Colorado is because, again, I love sports. So I click on these other channels and I do listen in, and all of the hate and that people are saying about Colorado and who Coach Prime think he is, and what about us? I hear that too. So I can't cover the whole spectrum of YouTube and television, nor can you. So what I'm doing is giving you my perspective. And again, I agreed with KC. So that's my point and my take.
So actually, I can tell you we the hottest thing spinning. Ain't nobody hotter than us. CU, that is, with Coach Prime.
Say that, Harry. Say that. Say it with your chest.
Ain't nobody hotter than CU football. I can cover all spectrums from all media aspects. Ain't nothing hotter than Colorado football. Nothing on the face of the earth, even in Uganda, even in South Africa, even in Australia, everywhere. This channel alone, the people that I got on this channel, DC, I'm coming for you right now, homie. Let's go. What are you talking about, first of all? What the heck? DC,
all right, then. Okay, then let's go there. Let's go there.
You need to get off those pearlies. You need to get off those pearlies because you're crazy if you think that.
Let's do it.
If you
let's
think
do it. Then show me.
Right?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Hey,
go.
DC.
Then right now, let me say this and be done. So then, right now,
Alabama gonna lose this year.
Hold on, because we're gonna go there. Let's follow it
right now. First of all, you should know better than to come on this shit.
Give it to him, Harry. Give it to him, Harry.
All right, you
knock him upside the head.
If I ain't critical of Coach Prime, I'm praising him. So please,
knock him upside the head, Harry.
Right now. Let's get one thing straight. Ain't nothing hotter in college football, in professional football, in soccer, in any sport than Colorado football. And let's get that right now. Before I end the show. DC, don't play yourself. Don't do it, bro.
That's right.
I'm telling you, everybody, every fan base, they're checking for us. Every single fan base. Do you know how many YouTube channels have erected, but have come up because of Colorado football? Ain't no Georgia channels that's popping.
Yeah,
you don't
DC.
See
yes, DC. Yeah, DC.
Hold on, let me get this off. You don't see no Georgia thumbnails, no Alabama thumbnails. You don't see no nothing thumbnails. You see dominating every single day. How do you think it's possible?
Yeah, DC.
All of these channels that cover Colorado can eat every single day with something new coming out, and everybody's getting like 50,000 views, 100,000 views from other channels.
Yeah, DC.
My little channel getting like 175,000 views, and all these type of. I got over. I'm closing in on 1 billion views on my channel. On a sports channel like this. What are you talking about, DC?
Talk that talk, Harry. Talk that talk.
Don't get it twisted. DC. Let's not get it twisted. I can be critical of Prime, but let's not get it twisted. Ain't nothing hotter than Colorado football on the planet. DC. And I got the data to prove it.
Go ahead. And Alabama gonna lose this year, DC. Alabama gonna get their head knocked off, DC.
But hold on. Let me give it to DC. Let DC defend himself.
That's fine. It's like this. What I said was, listen to what I said. Outside of Colorado, because what I said, I meant what I said, that it was, if you go to the other teams, they are not talking about Colorado. Okay.
That's because they're over here. We don't gotta go there.
Whoa. Let's go there now.
Facts,
If you
Harry.
go,
They're right
if
here
you
on
go,
this channel. They're right here on this channel, and they're Alabama fans, UGA
And you
fans,
one of them. You
Texas
and Phil are
fans.
one of them. So let's
Exactly.
check that first. You and Phil are
Check
one
it.
of them. So don't
Check
discredit that.
Check that.
Right here.
Check it.
man, y'all get up out of here. When you get past 4, now you get past 4 and 8. Now you want to go there. When you get past 4 and 8 and get a ring, a chip, at least a conference
Got him.
championship,
Look
heck,
at it.
even be number 1 in your division,
time,
then
baby.
you can
Give
talk
it time.
smack. But you
Hey,
can't
It's the
talk
second year,
smack
DC.
now.
Give it time, baby.
You
Give it
can't
time.
talk. Yeah, but guess what? It's
Yes,
right
sir.
now. So again, I got love for y'all, but I think y'all pulling your pants up way too high,
Oh,
Urkel.
that's
yeah.
why
You
I
probably
said,
want to push it back down past your
hey,
navel
you
versus
don't
putting
need
it up
to
to your
offend
chest.
nobody, Killer. You don't need to offend nobody
I'm
because
just
he's
saying.
getting on you
DC, y'all
because
gonna
you
lose
don't know
this
what you're
year, buddy.
talking
Hey,
about.
Marie.
I'm just
Hey,
saying.
Marie.
You poke.
We backed him up in the corner. He ain't had no answer. That's the only
You
thing he
know
can
what
say.
I'm saying? He got
Well,
his
what I came
shoulder.
back
Come
at you
on,
is that
man. Come on. Let's keep it
at this
grown.
point, well, so y'all came at it because at this point right now, elephant beats buffalo all day long.
Let's
So
keep it
let's chill.
grown, man.
So
Let's
let's
keep
bring
it
it back down.
grown.
Let's bring it back down to reality. The thing is, I rock with the Buff community. I'm cool with y'all, but I do think there's kind of this thing of everybody. It's all man. This ain't Death Row Records. It's
Yo,
good. CU is doing a
let me
great
It's not
job.
Alabama either,
DC,
Killer. It's not
DC,
Alabama.
you just took your whooping like a man. I appreciate you.
Hey, Harry.
All day, bring it.
Hey, Harry.
Go ahead, Tim.
Hey, I got a little pushback on that. What everybody hyped
Bring
up
it.
about, and
Bring it,
I
because
would.
I got data to prove it.
Right. I'm not worried about data. I'm not worried about the channels. I'm
Okay.
from we all. I mean, this whole segment we've been talking about differences between, you know what I mean, a 4-11 team versus a 1-11 team, or going 12-0. A football fan, from a football fan perspective, like DC was just talking about, them other schools don't care less about how many followers you got, how many likes, how many views. From a football fan like me, I'm a football fanatic. I'm all LSU all day. I like Coach Prime and what he's doing over in Colorado. That's the only reason I support him. But from a football perspective, I can care less about all that. I want to see how many
Come on, Tim.
championships you can win.
Tim, I love you, man, but I'm about to come for you, bro.
Go ahead, bro.
Tim, you've been one of my favorites, but I'm just gonna try to let me say this to you really nicely. From a football perspective, let's understand one thing. You are a football fan. You're here. DC's a strong football fan, Bama fan. He's here. He and Phil share a football team, which is Bama. They're here. All right. So understand this. There's the football fan that understands football. You got to win. You got to recruit. You got to do this. That's what you're always talking about, which is understandable. People that are here are football fans. They care about what's going on, but they also understand that this is football going on here. A lot of these fans, they already know that Coach Prime can win. A lot of these fans understand that Coach Prime can win, and a lot of them are scared. Their fan bases are scared because if Coach Prime wins, you know what happens? You would not get the 5 stars that Coach Prime would snatch from your program. Coach Prime starts winning, it's a wrap for your programs. So a lot of these fans, wherever they are in Colorado chat rooms, they're in Colorado YouTube videos, they're everywhere. So football fans, the real ones, the ones that are actual football fans that can't get enough of football, regardless of anything, they are here. They are right here. Not just here, but they're everywhere. They're clicking on Colorado because Coach Prime has rescued college football and made it relevant across the board everywhere. And I'll tell you, the leader of Nike said it himself. Coach Prime rescued the sport. He saved the sport. And you know what he was talking about business-wise. He understood that the sport was not where it needed to be business-wise. And who changed that? It was Coach Prime that changed that. This is the guy that runs Nike. Nike is it's probably the number one, if it's not Reebok or whatever, but Nike is one of the Nike is number one in sponsorships for all colleges. So you know who gets the data from all of the colleges? You understand that Nike gets the data from every single D1, D2, and underlings from every colleges. I'm giving you facts and data right now. That guy, okay? That guy, Knight, all right? I think his name is Phil Knight. Knight. He said that Deion Sanders has saved college football from a business perspective. He has brought new blood in. He has brought back the old bloods that left the sport. He has re-energized the sport, and everybody is looking for Colorado. That's why we the ish.
Hey,
Okay.
now
hold on. You go, boy.
Hey,
Yeah.
DC,
Yeah.
DC and Tim.
Yeah, I'm ready to run through a brick wall now.
DC and Tim. Hey, DC and Tim. Hey, DC and Tim. Hey, this is for DC and Tim. If Colorado wins 9 games this year, it is over for Alabama. It is over for LSU. It is over for Georgia. Y'all are dead in the water.
Let me say this. Everything. Let me say this. Everything that you just stated, Harry. If Colorado has a 4-9 season, I got them picked at 10-2. I'm sticking with my picks. But if they go 4-9, or 4-8, if they have the same season they had last year, or they don't get to, if they don't get to a bowl game, everything that you just stated, are you gonna be critical of Coach Prime? Are y'all gonna spit on him? Are you gonna hate on him? Are you gonna talk about him like a dog?
No.
Nope.
No, we're gonna do like
I already addressed that.
Nope.
So
I already addressed that.
Ride it till the wheels run off.
Okay.
Ride it till the wheels fall off.
And from
the
a
wheels
football,
I already addressed that, Tim. Bad ball. I'm still driving.
Can I say something?
From a football
let
perspective,
Tim finish, and then you can take it, Murray. Let Tim finish.
Okay, from a football fan perspective, people who really know football, that's great. Everything that Coach Prime is bringing in and saving college football.
Y'all should be thanking him.
Hey, I love it, brother. From especially being a black man, I love it. I'm not against it. But what I am saying is, from a college football fan perspective, I can care less about that. Show me the championships. Bring a championship in here. I can care less about in from everything else.
Yeah.
You're not
He
being
asking
genuine.
for championship, and he only been here one season.
Let me give it to Marie, but I'm gonna say this before.
You're
not Tim. You're not being. Hold on, guys. Hold on, Tim. I'll tell you why you're not being genuine about that. You're not being genuine when you say I don't care. I can care less about that, because we're all here because college football is exciting again. So you can't tell me that you can care less about the excitement that Coach Prime brought into the sport and everything that Coach Prime is doing for the sport. When you've gained, like, I don't know how many brothers and one sister that's on this panel, when you've gained all of this because of Coach Prime, you can care less about being in this community. Now I know who you are. I talk to you every Monday, every Friday night.
He shows he cares because he's in the panel. If he didn't care, he wouldn't be here on all your talks, all your panels, man. Come on now, Tim. Come on now, Tim. Stop. Tim, stop.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Call him out.
No.
Call him out, Harry.
Listen. The reason why I said that's not genuine is because it's not like I don't want you back on the show, right? But I'm just saying, I know Stretch, I know Jay Will, CU Buff Dynasty, Marie, DC, I know the Prime Effect 101, Wild Dog, Phil So Real, the tennis, all of these people I have come to know because of Coach Prime. So when you say you can care less about that, it's disingenuous, because we have gained a community where we can come and we can talk about even stuff outside of football. I know that you weren't thinking about that when you said what you said, but I want you to know that this, you being here, me getting to meet you and learn that you're from Dallas and all of these things I know about you and the whole the situation that we talked about where the domestic violence situation, I learned all of that from you and everything. That's because we're here, and that's because of Prime. So I know that you care. You didn't say that, and I know that wasn't your focus, but I know that you care, and you can't say, tell me you love something without telling me how you love it, why you love it. It comes along with it. So I know that you care.
I mean, I do care. I'm not
But then you
stating
can't
that.
say I can care less about that if you do care.
I'm talking about, well, okay, Coach Brown bringing everybody together and me meeting you guys, meeting everybody on the
That's
panel.
big.
That's a blessing. You know what I
It's
mean?
big.
But it's big. But and Coach Prime brought back a certain level of excitement to college football. I agree
That's
with that.
big.
That's but huge. But what I'm saying, me as a fan of college football,
What does that
I
mean?
was excited. What it means is I was excited because I'm an
Bro,
LSU fan.
you can watch
I'm
a
an LSU
game in
fan.
your underwear by yourself. You can watch a game in your underwear by yourself, but now you get to, now, you know what I'm saying? Now you get to talk about it after the game. Now you get to come in here and spit something and then get mad at people. You come back on here, you can be happy again. I mean, come on, man. That's all part of the
No,
fandom.
yes, it is. And what I'm saying is, I mean, I guess at this level, I say at this level, Coach Prime has brought it to a new level to where we can have these discussions before he went to
Right.
CU. But
Y'all
we
weren't
were
having
having
this
these
discussion
same
before Coach
discussions. Yes, we were in the barbershop. We were having these same discussions. It
in the
just was not on a
barbershop.
YouTube
Yeah.
platform. But I
In the
that's what I'm
barbershop, but
stating.
this excitement, this new, let Marie take it, but this
Go ahead.
excitement, Tim, you cannot deny this excitement. This level that we're on right now, that's because of Coach Prime, and you cannot take that away. I'm
Hey,
sorry,
I
I will
agree
not
with you,
allow it.
Harry. I agree with you 100%, brother.
All right, go ahead, Marie. Sorry about that. We kind of took it away from you.
No, it's okay. Hey, to Tim's comment, as a football, as a person who loves the game of football, which I do, as along with I'm sure all of you guys, um, if you're a fan or if you really love the game of football, you know that there are going to be wins and losses.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to win all the time. You're not going to lose all the time. Everything, most great teams had to build. Just like for the Alabama fan, Nick Saban didn't show up this year, and then next year he was a championship, team. It takes time to build. And if you're a fan, and if you really know the sport, you know that teams take time to build. Now, that's not going to change my expectation. I still that's just like, again, I'm a Cowboys fan. So if I'm watching the Cowboys and I see all that's going on, what's getting me excited is see you right now, because Cowboys, they doing some stuff on off season that they really not doing. So I'm really not watching it, but I'm still a fan whether they win or lose. I'm a fan of football. It doesn't change if your team loses or wins. Now I understand you a little bit more, Tim, that you're a LSU fan. So it doesn't really matter. Let's be honest. If CU wins 8, 9, 10 games, it doesn't matter. You're going to find flaws in whatever game, whether they win or lose. That's just my opinion. I think
Well,
that
let me
I,
to your
I think, your LSU, roots in, again, I'm from Southeast Texas, so I know about Louisiana. I get that.
okay,
But
I'm right here in Dallas.
come on, man. You on this channel. Why you not
I'm
on LSU channel
I'm right.
if you're
Hold
such a
on.
fan?
Okay, let me answer you.
But let me
Let
ask
me
you something, Tim. And then I'm gonna just mute myself so you can talk. But when you were talking, I wasn't jumping in. I was giving you the respect,
I
and I was just
apologize.
trying to prove. I was just trying to state my point. But you go ahead and jump in, and then I'll answer you if you have a question for me.
Okay. But to that, yes, I'm an LSU fan. There's a lot of other people on here that are Alabama fans and have other teams prior to Colorado. For the exception maybe Harry B. But what I'm saying is I'm a coach. I like what Coach Prime. I'm a Coach Prime fan. Okay. By him coming to see you, and what he's doing at the University of CU, everything that he's bringing into the NCAA football world, I love that. Is if they win or lose, I'm still gonna have good things to say and critical things to say. If you go back and look at some of Harry B's videos with me on the panel, there's a lot of things I like and there's a lot of things that I dislike. The same thing about LSU. Things that I like, things that I dislike. When Nick Saban was at LSU, things that I like and things that I didn't like. So I'm not against everything when it comes to CU win or lose. I look at it from a foot. I look at the whole landscape of things. So that's all I'm saying. I mean,
Okay,
I'm not
Tim.
sure where you're going with that.
Okay, Tim. Okay, so I got your point. So my question is, if Coach Prime was not at CU, would you be caring right now what's going on at CU?
I'm sorry. Say that again, ma'am.
If Coach Prime was not at CU,
Hmm.
would you even care what's going on with Colorado?
No, I could care less of what's going on with Colorado. I already stated that I am a
Right,
Coach Prime fan. I supported Coach Prime
He's a
when he was at
BWB.
HBCU
right,
and
right,
in
right, right,
Jackson State.
right. I just wanted you to say yes or no, and I knew the
Oh, okay.
answer. I knew the answer. But
All right. Oh,
that
you
was
got
the
more?
point.
Okay.
The last thing is that's the main point that Harry was trying to say. Coach Prime actually brought all these eyes on CU, and it's because of him. It's not because of what Colorado is doing or was doing.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Are you a Colorado fan?
Okay, I think so. You must have just got on. Again, I'm a CU fan because I'm a Coach Prime fan. I was
Same thing with me.
never, but yes, I was never a fan of college football. I grew up just watching the NFL, and I only started watching college ball when Coach Prime was at JSU. So the big picture is he's actually bringing folks that were never college fans because of where my career path took me. Yes, I have my degree now, but I didn't initially, you know, go straight from, high school into college.
Okay. So well, I guess my question, are you a Jackson State fan or are you a Colorado fan?
I'm a
Because it
Dallas,
start
I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan.
that's NFL. I'm talking
I
college.
know, I know, listen to me. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, but I also am a Coach Prime fan.
Okay,
So
so you wherever he goes, fan.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question
That's
to
what
you
BWB
is
means, guys.
right. So if Coach Prime just say for instance he stays at Colorado for 10 years, right? And he doesn't win a championship, you still that loyal fan
I'm still rocking
and
with.
very and excited for for CU Buffs?
Yeah, so Tim, you must have just
Okay.
joined
No,
because
I've been on
I,
here.
I
I
mean,
stepped out though.
in
Yeah,
all
she
my
said.
answers,
Yeah, she
I
said that.
said yes,
Yeah,
I'm
she did.
rocking. I'm rocking with Coach Prime, whether they win or lose. That's just like if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, or you are Eagles fan, or whoever you're a fan of. If you really care about the program, or you have a connection to it, like I did, like I stated earlier with me and my father, Dallas Cowboys, whether they win or lose, I'm always gonna be there. But you're not gonna just, hey man, it's a losing team. Yeah, I can't rock with that. No, I'm not that. I'm gonna support them. I'm wherever Coach Prime go. If he goes to another team, now I don't want another team to fail because he leaves. Now, like JSU, I want them to continue to prosper. Just like if he goes somewhere else, CU, I want CU to continue to prosper. But I like what Coach Prime is doing for those men, from boys to men.
All
Understood.
right. So
Go ahead,
So
Harry.
all right. So let me get DC in here. He wanted to address. He's finally licked this wrong because I destroyed him a little bit. So I want my guy to. He's took his breath. He took his breath. He's ready again. Go ahead, DC. What do you have?
Good and well. I got on a titanium shield. I put on the full armor. You know how it is. I get up. But here's the thing. All right. So real quick.
Oh man.
When I was in Texas, when I was stationed in Texas for a moment, I went to country bars. I didn't go because I like the music. I like the drinks, the wings, and the women. That was it. So here I am in this CU community because I think y'all sometimes get this twisted. Is that I can be a college football fan and be a Coach Prime fan, but don't mean I have to be a Colorado fan because most of you probably will be gone once he leaves. I can sit here, right? But here's what I can say. Right, but here's the thing. What I'm saying is that I've been a fan of a team that has a whole bunch of trophies because I'm from Bama, been here. I also been in the SWAC. So I've seen JSU when they were horrible, seen Alabama State when they were horrible. My point I'm saying is I've watched a lot of football and I like football talk. So I think I would say for CU fans is that when y'all do well, then why y'all here? Because X, Y, Z, because it is fun. It is exciting. But at the end of the day is that we also bring, because I think y'all got to understand, we also bring another side of looking at what championship football looks like. If somebody's watched it for several decades of what it looks like, then you got to understand is that if I'm watching and seeing people, and I've seen the coach, the Bear Bryants, seen it, the Stallings.
I gotta say that.
I've seen it. Listen to what I'm saying because I used to love Prime. I'm a Cowboys fan as well, so I love Prime in that.
Brian is a slave catcher.
Okay, he might be, and you know what? He very well may be because that was absolutely that time. But I'm sitting here watching this thing. But and at the end of the day, we can get into that. We can get into social stuff. That's true. But I'm sitting here. Go ahead.
Did you just say that we as real football fans bring what championship football looks like? Did you really come out of your mouth and say that?
What I said was, if you have, we're not real. Well, no, I said it's that when, as a real football fan of a team that has a whole bunch of championships, I know I'm used to it. And then what Tim was saying is used to seeing a team that has killed it, that has done a great job, that's got a championship within the past 2 decades. So when you sit there and see that, and then you turn around and see Colorado, you got to understand from our perspective, we're going, well, I don't see what I see. Like when I sit back and look at, like, for example, when I saw Bama play Cincinnati, and I looked at it just from the start of the game, I said, Cincinnati done lost because look how big Bama is compared to them. And when I look at
DC, what is your point, bro?
My point is we can love college football, but you also got to understand what we're saying. It's not that we feel Colorado is horrible. By any means, that's not where I'm coming from. It's just to a point where it's another perspective. And I think it don't seem like some people want to hear anything other than rah, 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 we're going to win, we're going to dominate versus, hey, from my watching football, I don't see what y'all see. That's the only point I'm really making. It doesn't mean it's a diss to Colorado. It just means to a point of when you watch some of these teams, some of the great teams, some of the great QBs.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask
you. It's not a dig.
Not a dig. Let's dialogue a little bit because you whatever you bring up, I'm going to rebuttal. Okay?
Give it.
Let me understand where you're going with this. Was that a general? Like, I need to get this off my heart because I feel like Colorado fans are not real. Because I feel like what you just said was in general. Like, I understand what college football is like, and I've been with championship teams, and you guys are just here, just kind of like, you're loving on Prime, but you don't really understand football. That's what I'm hearing. That sounds like
okay. I said 2 things within there. 2 things in there. Let me address that one first. I'm saying 2 things.
I've never seen football before. We just
I'm saying 2 things. I'm saying 2 things. I'm saying for one,
what is the first thing and what's the second thing?
First thing is for some of the Johnny Come Lately fans is that I am saying that about them. You haven't watched enough football to really be able to make that determination.
Okay.
The Johnny Come Lately.
Don't do that.
Okay. I ain't taking that back for nothing. I'm standing all the way up on that. I'm on my tippy toes on that one. If you are just coming in here.
Let's qualify that. Hey, DC, let's qualify that.
I'm not talking about Marie, by the way, because she watches
Johnny
football.
Come late. When you say Johnny Come, Hold on. Let's qualify that. I'm gonna break your argument apart.
Thank you for saying that, because I didn't want to put my age out there, but bro, I've been watching it a long time.
Right. I wasn't talking about
Since a little
you.
girl.
Let me make sure I understand. Are you talking about the Prime fans that understand football, or are you talking about the Prime fans that came? You're talking about the Prime fan that already knew about football, or are you talking about the Prime fan that are just coming to Colorado because and that don't understand football? Because there's two dynamics that goes on here. There's the Prime fans that already know about football, and then there's the Prime fan that don't know about football. We're just here to ride the journey. Who are you addressing?
Right. And if you'll notice, Harry, I said there's two perspectives I'm coming from. That's the exact one. The ones that have not really watched football and they're here for Prime, that don't understand how football works. Then I'm standing
the your Prime fans, you just kind of throw us all in there, and then you start saying, "I'm here to come and show you what championship football looks like."
That's why I said there was two angles. I'm coming at the people who are football novices.
Because you put us all in one group. You said Prime fans.
No, that's why I said there was
you Prime fans that don't know football. Because there are Prime fans that know a lot about football, and I just want to make sure you understand that.
Yes, that's why I said I was coming from two
and
angles.
You ain't teaching us nothing about no college, about no championship football, because a lot of us know championship football.
I wasn't talking about.
I took that one personal. I'm just
okay.
saying.
Well, let me get to your category then. And the
all right, thank you.
I want all of y'all. Let's get to CU buffs. Every last
one.
Of you.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Where I'm coming at on y'all end.
Come on.
Yes, is that
come on, bring it on.
You, some of you, not all of you, seem to be looking at football to a point where, like, when you sit down and you look at CU from how just by CU, you see some good things. But then when
Prime is going to be the first black man to win a natty. Let's get that out there.
Right. Yeah, come on.
And I stand on that. East Coast Cat stands on that.
I want to put some sauce on that burger you're eating right now. Coach Prime would be the first black man with Colorado to win a natty.
Hey, East Coast Cat stands on that.
I'll stand up with him.
I stand on that too.
I'll stand up with him on that.
Okay.
With Colorado.
You know, just because you put on Mickey Mouse ears don't mean you Mickey Mouse in that Disney World. Okay.
And it don't mean it's not.
The point being is that
what do you got for us Coach Prime fans that know football? What you got for me? Bring data now, because I would chew you alive. I eat chicken bone. My teeth are so strong they're going bad, right? I eat chicken. I will chew you alive if you don't bring no real data over here. Don't be talking that stuff about I know about national football teams and blah blah. You better come correct when you addressing us. Let's go.
Come on with it.
I'm ready. I'm listening, DC.
What I'm saying to you is this. Okay, I can't say that Coach Prime is not going to be a championship coach. I can't say that. What I can say,
let me help you out. And soon, because I know where you're going with this. And soon, not even 10 or 20 years. And soon,
Harry.
Go ahead,
Harry. Harry. I'm gonna give you a middle name, Harry Bartholomew. Harry Bartholomew. Okay. Well, I'm going Harold Bartholomew.
I'm intercepting all of your arguments because I know where you're going, DC. I know how you think. I've been with you for a minute now. I know where you're going, and I'm just gonna intercept every point and soon. So address that too.
Okay.
So DC,
what? Yes.
Let me help you out. So let me give you my perspective as a football knowledgeable guy. That when Prime went to CU, I became a fan of CU. What I see with my eyes is that I see Coach Prime on a fast track to a national championship. Will it happen this year? Will it happen next year? I'm not saying that, but what I see is him being on a fast track, and he's going to do it real quick, faster than normal. That's what I see. That's what I see him building.
I see that.
Hey,
and
Harry.
I can give you data. I can give you data too. So they can just say it. But DC, I can walk you through the progressions of how I think it's going to happen. You know I can do that. I got the data to prove it.
Hey, Harry.
One I can give it to you. Yes, go ahead, Tim.
Hey, I got a question for you. Can
Yes,
you
sir.
do this for those uh in the chat? What are you more concerned about? CU hype and all the accolades that's coming around that's surrounded by CU? Are you more concerned about CU winning and bringing a national championship or going to a bowl game? What is your concern? And see if you can get a poll going, Harry, and come back
When you
on
say
and
concern,
address it.
when you say concern, I want to know like what is the line of thinking are you going? When you say concern,
From a fan base, what are you most concerned about? Do a poll. What are you
but
most
you said
concerned about?
I wouldn't be concerned about a natty. But what do you mean concern? That's what I'm lost with.
Well, like a lot of we
You
talk
mean hopeful? What do you hopeful about? Or when you say concern,
no,
I'm kind
because
of
we talking about the difference, not to compare like a real CU fan from maybe an Alabama or LSU or whatever your team may be, type of fan, like DC was stating, you know, we're Alabama LSU fans, but we also Coach Prime fans and want to see him win. But for
okay.
CU fans, uh, what do you want? What do you want to see from a fan base? Do you want to see? Are you more concerned about
Oh,
everything
okay.
that he's bringing around CU, or are
Oh,
you
okay.
more
I get what
concerned about?
I
Okay.
think. I think. Okay, so the word that you're using, the concern, is what's throwing off what you're saying. So, okay, I would rephrase it and say, okay, what are you looking forward to the most? What are the things that you're looking forward to the most, and that you're more excited for, more so than concern, right? I would say, what are you looking forward to the most? Because a lot of people understand that Coach Prime is doing a lot off the field and on the field. Like some people like the fact that the young men will graduate and go into other jobs, and Coach Prime wanted to be great men in the future. Maybe we follow them and find out what's going to happen. But I understand your question now. So let me throw it to if you are in the chat and you can answer that question, go ahead and answer it. But I want DC to finish his thought, and then I will take the panel so that we got 10 minutes left in the show, and then we'll take the panel and we get an idea on what the panel thinks about that question. Go ahead, DC.
All I'm saying, basically, I don't watch a lot of football, and then I don't see CU being at the level that like East Coast Kev is saying this year, and I don't know what next year's team look like, so I can't say anything. All I'm saying is when I hear people saying 10-2 or 11-1, I don't see that. All right, just keeping honest with you. It doesn't mean, and then I think what I'm also asking within that same vein is that because every time you come over there, like, well, he's a Bama fan who why is he here? Do y'all want us here?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
I want you to leave.
Be quiet.
Okay.
Be
Right
quiet.
now. Not here now.
Oh
Get
no.
out of here.
But
Okay. That's
DC,
easy.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you.
let me
I
let me
know.
answer that question. Let me answer that
Go over there
question.
with the board and those guys.
Let me answer that question.
See what he
The
get.
reason why I said it in the way that I said it is because there is no example like the present, like somebody who's right there in front of you, so that you can feel that punch that I just punched you in your gut, because I needed you to feel that punch. But like I said, I
It was a weak
appreciate
one, by the way.
it was not a weak one, because you were quiet for a minute. Stop playing with me. You knew that was a hard hit, and you couldn't even say anything. You conceded by just screaming. I don't hear
I just
DC
let you
screaming.
punch yourself out.
No, you just started screaming because it was hitting too hard. But anyway, I wanted you to understand, like, the appreciation of having a Tim, the appreciation of having a DC, Phil, and all these guys, the camaraderie. I even said it when Tim was saying, when he was saying like he can care less about all the other stuff, and I'm like, wait, that's disingenuous, because we care about the conversations that we have here, and it was because of Coach Prime. So no, we don't want you to go away. We want you here, but don't be disingenuous and start spewing your little talk about all this. Bama's the best team. Georgia's the best team. Since we got here in this space, the only thing we knew and we heard first was Bama and Georgia. And then everybody else followed suit. So I'm like, okay, we get it. But Colorado's about to take that, and I'll tell you why Colorado's about to take that and why the media is so afraid of the institutions that have been around here for so long, and they want to keep the status quo. That's why they do what they do. because Colorado is a no name that is about to leapfrog all of these institutions that have been here for so long and been winning. And then Nick Saban wants to go to Congress and sit there and act like he ain't been paying those players to keep the status quo the way the status quo has been. But let's put that aside for a second and let you know what Coach Prime is about to do. All right? I didn't want to be on no Coach Prime big him up band today. I wanted to tell him, my man, stop talking the way you're talking because you're not helping us who love you. All right? But since we're now on the Let's Hype Coach Prime Up, I'll tell you why we're going to win a natty real soon. This is the reason why. Number one, nobody will recruit like Coach Prime could recruit if they were on a losing trajectory. Coach Prime has been on a losing trajectory. First of all, he inherited a 1-11 team, but he was able to get several 4 and 5 stars on his team. Can you concede to that? Yes or no? I want to take it in incrementally so I can help you with the data. Can you accept that? Yes or no, DC? Just say yes or no.
I can accept it. I can accept it.
Thank you, Tim. DC, your turn. Yes or no?
I can accept it.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to the next section. The next section is number one. He did not have the type of staff, and he did not have the time to put together the type of staff that he would have put together if he had all of the elements that he needed to put that staff together. So in year number one, he had to take suggestions from people and that he was trusting, and the staff that was suggested did not gel and did not have the best interest of Coach Prime, who is the head, who they have to have interest at heart. Do you agree? Yes or no?
I object, leading the witness. Because you are leading me.
You was kind of leading on that a little bit, Harry. Yeah,
I'm 50-50.
Okay, 50-50. All right, so I take the 50 and I'll tell you this. So when the staff did not agree, when the staff did not agree, that 50% that says yes, that was the case. When the staff did not agree, there was a split in-house. So recruiting was affected. And when recruiting is affected, the guys that are supposed to be on your team, that are supposed to help you to bring in the next generation of players, the guys that are supposed to stay and you're supposed to be in their ear talking to them for them to stay, because there's one thing about there's a couple of elements in recruiting. Number one, you attain the recruit, and then number two is you got to sustain the recruit. That means you got to keep them in house. Who does that? It's the position coaches. Those are the closest guys to them. So if you have that going on in house, where the coach that's supposed to be his position coach is in his ear saying, hey, I think you should think about this school. I think you should think about that school. That affected Coach Prime's ability to be able to do everything that he needed to do in-house. Do you agree with that was happening in-house?
I'll have to answer it this way. I do agree that he has some dysfunction in his house, but I would sit back and say that counter with the gold jacket argument, wouldn't that mean even if he had a short amount of time, because he's Prime, that should have been having players jumping out in the portal to come to him? Should that not be? Yes or no?
Did you watch the Fannie Willis debates and stuff in court case? Did you watch that case?
I most certainly have seen it.
Okay, I'm the guy that's getting yes or no questions, and I'm that guy that says, "Do you agree? Yes or no? Yes or no?" I'm laying out a case, and I'm about to land this plane for you, so you can understand why we're going to win the natty. Yes or no? Do you agree?
Well, having been in court, I know I'm able to answer that question as I answer part of yours with another answer that pertains to the question asked in concept.
Okay, so I'm going to just.
Shall we treat him as a hostile witness?
Listen, I'm going to just take your concept. I'm going to take your concept and say you agree, okay? You're 50-50 on that. So this is what happens. So now, so recruiting was affected, all right? You gotta be able to attain the players that you get. If you can't attain the players that you get, we don't really talk about this much, but this goes in a lot into my thinking, the way that I know that we can win. So, Coach Prime, all of these coaches that's coming out, the Pat Narduzzi's, all these anonymous coaches, everybody that's the NCAA changing the rules in midair, okay, moving the goalposts while we're trying to score a goal. All of those things are in case are there put into place because Coach Prime is not your regular coach. Coach Prime was not set here. He wasn't coming here to play. Okay, I'll wait my turn. Okay, I'll go visit all these kids. Okay, I'm gonna do it just like Nick Saban. Coach Prime, he probably whispered in Nick Saban's ear and he said, I'm about to take everything that you did in whatever year and I'm gonna do it in 2 years. And that probably didn't sit well. I'm just saying, I'm sure he didn't say that, but all of that was going to transpire, but all of these forces have caused the thing that needs to happen, the recruiting, the players that would have come here otherwise, with all the things that I've said prior, it has slowed that down. And in all of that, still, with all of those things, he's still able to get 1 or 2 5-stars to build it. So do you know what that means? That if it's not this year, it's next year.
Yes, sir.
Well, Harry, I will say this to you. I'll say this to you.
I ain't been on here all day. Let me just say this one thing.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
let me tell you something, Mr. DC. Listen, if TCU can be 4-8 one year and then the next year go to the national championship, Colorado can do the same thing, sir. And that's all I'll say. You have a good weekend.
If it's not this year, it's next year. And you and the players that he got in house, no, they're not perfect players, but guess what? They're buying into the system. The coaches that he got right now are not number one choice, but guess what? They're buying into the system. And when all that comes together, it's a wrap, DC. I'm trying to tell you, you got to look at the things that maybe some people would not look at because they don't see a perfect system. But this ain't no regular system we're talking about here. So everything that you keep saying that may not happen because they're not doing it like a Bama, they're not doing it like a Georgia. It ain't got to be like a Georgia because you see all of the elements. I just took you through a small little short progression, and I got more data on that.
Well, I got one question to ask you. I got one question to ask you because you laid it out. So I'm going to ask you one question. And I want, because I see stretches there, one question. Do you believe that Coach Prime and the support and his coaching staff, that he has the right people in staff right now to do exactly what you said this year?
I believe.
Yes.
I do.
I believe that.
Yes.
I do. But keep in mind,
You're hoping.
DC, remember at the end of the day, remember what I said my criterias are. My criterias have not changed. I need everybody to believe in Coach Prime, and I need everybody. I'm talking about the staff now. I need the staff and the players to understand Coach Prime's vision and to buy into that vision. If there's anybody that's in-house that is second thinking, that is like a snaky type of person that has second motion, I believe what Coach Prime does, because I've always laid it out in my videos, and I always say how disciplined Coach Prime is and where he wants to go. If everybody just believe and just follow his lead, he can do it this year and no longer than next year. If you don't do it this year, it's happening next year. I'm just letting you know it's going to happen.
And then for the next 5 years after that.
Hey, Harry.
And that's scary to a lot of people.
I listened at all the data that you just stated, which is great data. Don't want to take anything away from it.
Okay.
But here's a little bit more data that needs to be taken into context. You getting 1 or 2, quote, these are your words, 5 stars, right?
1
Ohio
or 2 quotes,
State,
5 stars?
Yeah, 1 or 2 5 stars. That's what you just stated.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
Okay.
All right. Because we couldn't get any more because people were stopping us. We want more, but we can't.
Hey, to win it, but you also stated that's Coach Prime. So what I'm saying is you have some not Coach Primes that got 8 5 stars at Ohio. You got
They didn't get it in one season, so come on, Tim. Let's
got it this
keep
season.
it
Go
honest.
back. Hey,
They
did it
did?
this. They did it this season. Go back and look it up. Google it. They got look at Georgia. Georgia got multiple 5 stars. Multiple 5 stars. Now I'm gonna also put this into perspective. Georgia head coach coached up under Nick Saban. He left and went to Georgia. DC could testify to this. He started taking Nick Saban recruits about what he can do. We're hoping that Coach Prime has the staff that he needs for
I'm not
everybody
hoping.
You're not?
I'm not hoping.
Because I know.
I'm not
got
hoping because I
Oh,
answer
you
your
know
first
that they
question.
got it.
Yes.
Okay.
But
So you know that they got it.
Tim, let me ask. I know
Hold
you.
on. I'm trying to lay
Yeah,
out
but
something.
Tim,
I know,
land,
but
land
you're
your
laying
plane.
out.
Tim,
What you're laying
Tim,
out is
let him land
does.
this plane because I want to know where he's going with it. Let him land the plane and then I'll have you rebuttal. Go ahead, Tim.
I'm
Land
just trying to
your
have
plane.
everybody to have an open mind.
But that's not the
this.
point here. This is not about closed or open minded. It's not that. But Tim, have you landed your plane? What was your point?
Okay, yeah, my plane landed.
Oh, okay. So your entire point was for us to open up our mind and see more of a reality of the situation. That was your point?
Yeah, more of a
Okay.
reality of
All right, Marie, go ahead. Go ahead, Marie.
Okay, Tim. I just wanted to make.
No, let Marie go and then Tim, and then Willis, you'll go.
Okay, I just wanted to make one point. I did see the comment, and I did see it in the comments, and which makes sense. The point is, yes, if you said that there's a team out there that actually got like 8 5-stars, now we already know everybody getting paid. So Colorado does not have the money that these other teams have that you're naming. So Coach Prime is there. Yes, they have a bigger bag this year where he was able to get an O-line than they actually had last year. So let's be honest in our takes when we say, oh, well, this team got 8 5-stars. Okay, they got the bag to pay for those 8 5-stars, and we know it's about money.
To your point, I don't think every. Oh, go ahead,
Tim. So let's do it this way. You can't play every player. All right, you can't play. You only need a few players, key players, right? Key players at key positions, and then you need a couple of players to back them up that are just as good as them. That's called DEPTH. All right, so let's just understand that. So whether you have a bunch of 5-stars, you're gonna have a bunch of disgruntled people who can't play because a lot of these kids are coming from schools where they are the man, where they're, you know what I'm saying? That transfer portal is, and what I think it was you, Tim, that sent me the information, or was it Phil that sent me some information about? I think it was Pate that said the transfer portal, the second time around, is going to be popping because of exactly what you're saying. A bunch of 5-stars that are being collected on teams that they're going to have to wait till their 3rd year before they can even see the field. So all that 5-star stuff doesn't matter. You need players that can play now. And that's why Coach Prime has the 40-40-20 package that he has, because he ain't got time to be waiting for these guys to be sitting around on the bench. So let's just understand that. It doesn't matter how many 5-stars you got. You know what matters? What Coach Prime always talk about that people don't really pay attention to? Are we getting the right player that believes in our system? That's all that matters. They could be a 3-star, 4-star, or a 5-star. Do they believe in our system?
I agree
with you on that. If they believe in our system, and then at the end of the day, if they can play in our system, then that's what matters. Because a lot of these, Coach Prime himself said in his conference, in his press conference, that don't look at what you see now, because a lot of those kids are going to jump into the transfer portal anyway. He already know that he already know people are going to jump into the transfer portal. So do I believe that
all them stars that went to Ohio and Michigan, they gonna jump they butt right in the portal and they'll be right over to Colorado.
So listen. So a lot of people are gonna jump into a transfer portal. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, 4 or 5 stars don't really matter. What really matters is your system.
And that's why
I'm praying that Coach Prime has what I'm hoping is This is my one criteria. I'm hoping that the guys that are in-house buy into Coach Prime's system. If they buy into it, then we have them in-house. All they gotta do is buy into it because I trust him that much. All right, so it is 3:07, guys. Let's go ahead and close it down. I'm gonna start with you, Tennis Channel. No. Let's do it backwards. I'm gonna start with you, East Coast Cav. What are your final thoughts on today's show? We kind of we holding Coach Prime accountable to bigging him up all the way to a natty in the third year. So it's kind of like, half and half. People were hating me, then they started loving me again, and I was like, oh gosh, where am I gonna go with this? All right, East Coast Cav, what are your final thoughts on today's show, brother?
We coming.
All right.
That's all I got to say. We coming.
Like
Yes,
that.
you could talk all you want. I don't like what he's saying this, and I don't like when he's saying that. Hey, people ain't like Trump, but you know what? He's the best president we ever had. We coming.
Okay.
2024,
right.
we coming.
Right. Okay. He went
That's
political. This wasn't a political show, but he got it in there anyway.
Hey,
Tim.
I'm just saying, Trump too. He coming too, baby. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, good. You got it in there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're one of the black guys that are supporting Trump. Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Tim, what are your final thoughts on this show? We came for you today, but it's all good.
I'm trying to gather my thoughts back. East Coast Cavs, he just threw me way off the top of the roof. But anyways, I still love you, brother. Trust me. But what I was gonna say was
no rebuttals on the final thoughts.
Nah, I don't have no rebuttal to that. But
oh man.
Hey, great show, Harry. Once again, to all the panel members, I want to let y'all know that I do respect your points of views, and I take them to heart, and I go back and I look at them, I assess them, and I learn from each and every one of y'all. So don't think that I'm a Colorado hater or I'm a Coach Prime hater, because I used to rock my football jerseys the same way that Prime used to lace his football jerseys up when he was at Atlanta. He changed the trend, how to style your uniform. So I rock with Prime heavily, but just another fantastic show, my brother, and I thank you for having me on, Harry.
Appreciate you coming on. So yeah, Marie, it's your turn. We were half and half today. One praise, one criticism. So you got to take the good with the bad. Marie, what is your final thoughts, please?
Harry, I enjoyed the show. I appreciate you letting me on. And I do enjoy other people's takes, from maybe other teams. I've actually learned a lot from watching other channels that actually break down each move. And anyway, I enjoy all of these panels. The only thing that I ask is that for those that are fans of these other teams that may have some different biases with the other teams, with Colorado or being a fan of another team, is to just temper your expectations when it comes down to Colorado. Just think about if that was your team starting from scratch and what it takes or what it took in order for them to be where they are today, and not just, well, he's doing this wrong and that's wrong. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Coach Prime is doing everything right, but what I'm saying is I manage my expectations because I do realize there's a process. Thanks, Harry.
All right. You're welcome, and thank you for coming on to the show. I appreciate you. And
hey,
so
Harry,
yeah,
take care, man. Have a good weekend. Take care, chat. I'm out. God bless.
Man. Take care, East Coast Cavs. So DC is on you, brother. No rebuttals on the on the final thoughts, but the mic is yours, brother.
I'll sit back and say I enjoy good football conversation. If y'all ever watch like Paul Feinbaum on SEC, you're gonna see stuff that's way worse than that. I mean, the SEC people go at it, and so understand the dynamics of you're gonna have intense conversations within the football space, just like you do in the barbershop. I'm not by any means saying that Colorado will be a horrible team and not dogging them, but I think, as well as Marie was eloquently put about the expectations, I think that's got to go the other way as well, as saying if we have a conversation, if I don't see it, because I mean you have a team that's ranked 22nd in the overall for 2024 recruiting. that doesn't say top team, that says a 22, right outside the top 20. I think they will do well, and I enjoy these conversations. I will tell you this: I got love for all of you. I got love for Harry B. So I'm not going nowhere. So it is what it is. I love all of y'all. 10 channels, every last bit of y'all. See you bust all that good stuff. Stretch. So I love the show, Harry. Appreciate it.
You're military. You're not supposed to run from a fight, brother. So I don't know if you're running from a fight. If you run from this friendly conversation, then I'll be afraid. I'll question your character to see if you're running from this. Then what the heck else is you running from? Anyway, no rebuttals on the final thoughts, but I just wanted to say that. DC, Mr. Willis Tennis Channel. Oh, you finally changed your avatar. You was looking like a Ben Gay
like
old
that,
man on that other one. Yeah, you were looking like a Ben Gay old guy on that other one, but I'm not Ben Gay hating, but yeah.
I'm just letting it go. I'm letting it show, brother. Letting the wisdom come out. Hey, just to add to what you were saying, that's all. I like to admonish all of our fans, those of us that are fans, that you do your homework before you come to any kind of judgment, even with the people that don't like us. I'm gonna put it to you that way. Here's why I'm saying this, because I do my homework. You know, you're talking about fact. Every player that we have coming in, I can say this. T. Cal gives a very in-depth study, and I think I sent you a copy of that link of each one of our players. He featured Colorado this year.
Man, why are you taking my time to be bigging up other channels, man? What are your final thoughts? Stop trying to give all these.
My final thoughts is, well, I didn't get a chance to say what I needed to say at the beginning because y'all went somewhere else with it. But anyway, only thing I'm saying,
when these other channels start bigging me up, then I'll give them the airtime.
Okay, all right. No, I was just mentioning. You know about it. You mentioned them here yourself, so you mentioned them. But I was just saying, in doing my research and in studying my team, the players that we have coming in, there are other, I will go and watch this and see, and it talks about them. In that way, this is how I form my opinion about what our team looks like. They talked about Shallow. They talked about a couple of people that are coming in, and it was good, positive stuff. So before I make any judgment, anything on our team or whatever, I'm looking at that kind of data. So most people that make assessments, they haven't done their homework. To them, it's just an opinion, but an opinion with no facts. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, so yeah. I wanna leave y'all with this. Even though somebody has criticism, we're quick. If I'm praising Coach Prime, can you mute yourself, guys? If I'm praising Coach Prime, then everything is great. If I'm criticizing, or if I have some type of I guess an opinion on something that he's doing that I don't really subscribe to, then I'm bad. Then I'm no good as a Coach Prime fan. Then you start questioning the channel. I want everybody to understand, like, you gotta have respect for yourself. That's number one. And you gotta, I don't live a hypocritical life. I really think that if you feel some kind of way about somebody, and this is in anything that you do in life, if you feel some kind of way about your coworker, if you feel some kind of way, if there's something that you feel like, hey man, why did you do it like that? I think it's good for you to tell that person, allow that person to understand where you stand at. And this is also something that I learned when I came to New York. New Yorkers have this thing where they'll tell you in your face how they feel about you so that you're not guessing. Because I lived in other parts of the world, from the South and every place else. And people always say that they are very consistent about New Yorkers. Like, New Yorkers, they think that New Yorkers are mean, but no, New Yorkers are not necessarily mean. We just like to tell you who we are so you know where we stand at about you. You should be very afraid of the person that doesn't say who they are in front of you, and then behind your back they're talking crazy about you. That's the person you need to worry about, not the person that's coming out and saying, hey man, I didn't really like what you said about that. I didn't really like the way you said that thing, or the way that you said and what you said. That's a genuine person. That person is telling you straight up they don't like something. Is that because they're hating you? No. If somebody's saying, I don't like the way you said and what you said, you should say, okay, y'all can have that discussion. But if you're saying, oh, you hate it, and then in a different setting where you just now you're going to your coworkers and you're saying, hey man, this person is this, that person is that. No, New Yorkers are New Yorkers. I like New York because New York, somebody they will tell you straight up, hey man, I don't like that. And then you deal with it accordingly. So I want us as fans, as Colorado fans, don't store up no anger. Don't store up your responses. Don't store up, you know what I'm saying? Don't store up for anything. Get it out there. Let's give Coach Prime the type of grace that he needs to be able to do what he needs to do. The same thing that Marie was talking about is where your team took time to grow. It's going to take Coach Prime some time to grow. So this great wall of China that you're looking for right now, this great wall of China that you think that we're building, what happens when they can't hold the wall? What happens if Shador gets sacked in the first 3 calls of the game? What would you be thinking or saying then? That's what I want you to start understanding, that it's going to take some time, and make sure that you have some grace and don't have this store of vengeance that you're going to unleash if things don't go the way that you're thinking. That's my final thought today. Guys, I appreciate you, my panel, the tennis channel, Marie, Stretch. He didn't say much because he felt kind of y'all coming for Stretch for no reason, but he left. Tim, I appreciate you always. DC Carson, Phil So Real. Everybody, look, I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep being yourself. Please understand that life goes in. Please say what you need to say in front of people when you need to say it, and let them deal with it the way that you're going to deal with it. Y'all will be better people together. I promise you. All right, folks. All minds are clear. Tennis Channel, your mind is clear. Marie, your mind is clear. Tim Smith, your mind is clear.
Yeah, we all right.
I'm good, brother. Love
We
everybody
all
on the
right.
panel, man.
Yes,
All right.
everybody have a blessed weekend.
All right. All is well. All right, guys. So I will see y'all on Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football is at 7 p.m. on the East Coast, guys. 7 p.m. on New York City time. I will see y'all on Monday Night Football. We're going to bring up another topic. I really wanted to talk about Jordan Seaton and how mature he is. That brother is, he's not a regular kid, okay? That's a grown man from a different era, all right? I really wanted to talk about his interview, and I will probably put that in a video, or we'll talk about it on Monday Night Football. But I will see y'all on Monday Night Football. That is going to be at 7 p.m. East Coast. I'll see y'all later. Peace.